Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm just waiting for the other girls to all get here. I just got home from work, so I hope everybody had a great day. What a day in court. Hi, Adam. How are you? Did you survive the day? It was a day. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Adam has to say about it. I'm good. I just got home from work from a patient, and I have to do an overnight tonight, so I won't be able to stay on as late as I did last night, unfortunately. Oh, thank you. I haven't brushed it in 2 days, but thank you, hungry guy. But yeah, I don't know. I want to hear y'all's opinions on today. That's for sure. So, hey, Casey. I'm excited to hear everybody's thoughts on it. And we're going to hold the panel a little bit differently today too. So as soon as we get some people in here, I'm going to start off with something and then everybody will come up and we'll get going. Give me 2 ticks to get today. My live stream won't work, so yeah, you're fine. Adam, you're good. Thank you, Miss Henny. What was the point? They don't prove shit. Who, the prosecution? I'm anxious to hear what happened. There was a bombshell I heard. Yeah, I think so. I think everybody else thinks so too. And I think we knew we were going to see Reddington do this. Hey, Katie. And I think that's what we watched today. I was trash today. She was at the doctor's office, clearly. Exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to give everybody a chance to get in. I had to go on a little bit earlier today at 5:30 because I work today, and then I've got a hospice patient from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So I got to go back to work at 8 p.m. tonight, my time. So I won't be able to stay on as long, but I'm sure maybe one of the other ladies may move the live, or I can just leave it rolling with them hosting it. I think so too, Miss Henny. I really do. I think he's going to start building this picture, and I just think that, and I think next week's going to be a really big week for sure. Absolutely. Because they did recess until Monday, so they won't be holding court tomorrow. I agree. It did. Good, and yeah, I think he brought a few things to light today that I'd like to talk about. I think all of us ladies, and Adam, love your hair. How long have you been growing it? Amy, it's just been this long for about 12 years, something like that. I mean, I've always had long hair, but I just had 5 inches cut off of it too. It was like down to here. I cut about 5 inches off every few months. So, thank you. You answered as I was saying. We're just getting, we're getting like, I washed my hair the other day, but I didn't do anything with it. So I just look like a hot mess and I'm going to look like this probably till Saturday, Monday, when the defense calls witnesses from what I've heard. Yes, I'm so excited. I think next week's going to be a really, really big week. Yeah. I think he's going to start putting together the pictures that he's been, going over this last couple weeks. And with the searches that he brought out today, them being Patrick and not her, I think it's got to be something we're looking at, and we're really taking a Jen today has my mind blown. I know, cheeky. Long, but it's fluffy. You got fluffy hair too. I'd like to see a search record too. I know, me too. I think we're going to. And I was at work, so I was with a patient this afternoon. Can anybody tell me, did they go over the location? Did the investigator, I know he did the sweep with Celebration, but did they track it? Did they track the phone? Say the defense starts next week. Yeah. You know, I didn't think so. So we've got a second cell phone and we have the iWatch. And did anybody else notice that there was not one footprint in all those drops of, you know what, all over, or hand smudges or anything? I didn't see it, Miss Henny. That's why I wanted to ask y'all, because I knew you'd be watching today. I know the ladies and gentlemen we have in our lives are great. Very neat. Yes. Did anyone notice the knob? And there is no. The husband was investigated 2 years ago. I don't know what is starting now. Well, he wasn't investigated. He was interviewed, and there's a big difference in that, you know? So, you know, I mean, did Reddington know? Did Reddington pull his records? That's who I think probably pulled Patrick's. I just got a feeling. Is it true he never handed over his phone? From what I understand, he didn't. He should have taken custody of Sammy. I don't understand. I don't think he was investigated. He was interviewed. And again, you guys know I don't say anything that I don't see that the prosecution, hey, all is good, has up. So I don't see anything where they're talking about the investigation on Patrick. How was he investigated if they didn't take his phone? Right. I'm just worried if they had evidence against him, it would be out. I don't think so. Hello, Johnny. I don't think that they have evidence. I think that Reddington has probably done his due diligence. So, yeah, Johnny, I'm going to have people up here in just a few minutes. So, yes, do a request so I can get you up. And then I'm going to tell everybody today, we're going to have our normal panel members. And then we're going to leave 2 spots open to bring guests up. And then we're going to have our discussion with each guest and then drop that guest down so that we can bring another guest up. Because last night we had 500 and something people in the live. We had a full panel and all the guests. And I think those of you who were here saw that it went a little sideways. It was just very hard to hear everybody and to really talk. So we want to make sure that you guys are enjoying and hearing and understanding what we're all talking about on panel. So we're going to do it a little different today. Hopefully it'll be better. And if he's so innocent, why doesn't he want the 911 call released on his phone records? I agree, Amy. I agree. So I don't know. I haven't seen where he said that. Can somebody send it to me? You guys are like super sleuths. You see everything, and I'm not, so I miss a lot. He was investigated for a whole 24 hours, right, Katie? That's all I can find too, are the interviews. So did not see any investigation on Patrick Clancy. None. If you guys have found it and they're legal documents, please send them to me. My email is jenniferktoby, Toby, @gmail.com. Please feel free to send anything, and anybody's emails I get, I would never share or do anything like that. So if you want to send me anything, I'm open to both sides. I think that Kevin today proved that Lindsay was not on the phone. I do too. As I'm in the UK, the more I watch the trial, the more I think he did it. Same. He was thoroughly investigated in those 24 hours and didn't find anything. Yeah, Adam. Your live is always complex. Thank you. We want you guys to enjoy it while you're here. And we want all of you to come up and be able to talk. So that's why we're going to try it a little different tonight, so that everybody can have a chance. Because I think there's so many of you that have important stories and input. And even the men. Thank you, Rick, if you're in here for coming up yesterday. And of course, we love Adam. Adam is in our girls group chat, and he's such a trooper. No, I don't think it is, Cheeky. I really don't. When the girls get here and we go up, oh shit, hold on. Sorry, Casey. I didn't see that you were sitting in queue. You're one of my mods. I think you can just come up. I don't know how that works, but.
Hi, everybody.
I gave you guys all the powers. Shit, could y'all even hear me that whole time? My volume was all the way down. Sorry. Jack, stop. Hello. Hello, Amy. Hello, everybody. I hope y'all could hear me that whole time. Okay, good. Yeah, I think he made some we saw some things come out today, and I really think that he's setting up a picture that he's going to paint in front of us next week or two. I think and you got to remember this trial is like 5 or 6 weeks long, so we're just at the very beginning of it. Just at the beginning. Thank you, Rock. If you like unbrushed bed hair, this is it. So, thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to start bringing out in the next few weeks. And thank you. And we're just waiting for the rest of the girls to all come in. We all work, most of us, and some of us are in other countries. So it's the middle of the night. So we want to give everybody a chance to come in and go over. But what are y'all's thoughts on the trial today? Did you guys go
Someone
ahead?
asked in the chat, they said, did anyone notice the knob in the video today?
Hmm.
And I didn't notice anything. So I'm
No.
wondering what that's about.
I don't, yeah, what is that about? Can somebody, does that the person who said it want to come up on panel? If so, let me know. Trying to catch up. And if not, can you put in that what we're supposed to be looking for? What I noticed about the crime scene photos, Casey, I don't know if you noticed this, but he said it was bloody. Oh, Patrick said it was bloody, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting. I did notice when they were doing the video on the crime scene that there wasn't one footprint. So somebody who's in psychosis is not going to think about stepping over her own droplets, not to make footprints. There was none. I couldn't see
I
one.
noticed that also.
Yeah, did you notice that?
Yeah, and I keep that window just, I've been
No.
super focused on that, but the window, even today, it even showed.
I lost you. It showed what, Ben?
It's so I just again with the window, the up close of when they were panning through the room, I'm like, that window was not even opened all the way. It's just
Yeah.
so weird to me. Like,
Yeah, I agree. And did you notice that, that it looked like there was a smudge on the top of the window? And I can't imagine how she would. I mean, unless I don't know, I could see.
I took
Helen
some
maybe
photographs
grabbing.
and I want to say there was something super weird, like up almost looking like I'd have to go back and look at it. I totally forgot to look at it, to be honest.
I'm gonna see if I
But there
can.
was some kind of weird placement with red stuff up top.
Right. That's what I was talking about. Like it looked like a smudge, like you like a
Yeah.
hand. Yeah, I noticed that, but just like a couple of fingers worth, not a lot.
And
Um,
the whole part where when Patrick was on the stand and they were asking about, visually what did the room look like, and he starts off okay, but then he has a slip up and says, instead of saying it looked as if this sprayed everywhere, it was the way that he responded as he was responding to it a few times. He then said it was if it just sprayed everywhere. And that was like really, I watched a lady, and although her video was a little not my cup of tea, I guess, but she was like going back to even like instinctual and like things that imprint in our brain for the first time, if you will. And so that is why that may have been so imprinted onto his brain that he had a, if you will, did a Sigmund Freud kind of slip there
right.
with responding, because you just wouldn't accidentally say that.
Oh, he said spraying. It
He
was
said it was
spraying
everywhere.
everywhere.
He answered like twice about it, and then he continued on to say, he goes, I should have wrote this down, but he said something to the effect of, it was if it sprayed everywhere. The way that he's saying it is as if though he watched it and did it.
I'll look it up. Well, when the girls get up here, so that you guys can talk, and I'll do my little research over here, and we'll find it because I would like to show that and the video to
Yes,
the
okay,
chat.
right there. She said yes, what Rach is saying. So she's saying spraying, not sprayed. Okay, so the spraying part instead of okay.
Yeah, I thought he said it was spraying everywhere. And I was like, well, how would you know it was spraying everywhere? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I got, but I could be wrong too. But I think we're right in the middle, if not. There's no way to tell the blood. You know, the only thing that I saw, and I'll tell you, I work with the red stuff all the time. And when you got that much on the floor, it's almost impossible not to step in it or smudge it or something. It looked very careful to me. Like there was no footprint in it at all. I didn't see a sock print or his boot prints, just nothing. And it looks like, and there was quite a bit on the floor. It was perfect. It really was. And there was no handprints anywhere. There was no feet prints anywhere, which I thought was very strange. And then the sharp thing was just like sat on the side table, like perfectly, you know.
I just went to a screen grab that I took today about that weird smudge that you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when you're looking up in the window, that's a solid white. And I don't know about you guys, but I have curtains, but then I also have like the blinds that you pull down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the window. It looks like it's on a solid white piece. And I'm wondering if they had those pull down blinds also the bedroom, which would make sense because to keep it dark for baby during nap time, things like that. But it doesn't look to me, it doesn't appear like that is on the window itself. It looks like there is you have curtains, but then you also have like pull down blinds. That's what it looks like.
Interesting. I saw it at work. So and it's funny, my hospice patient today was watching it with me but didn't really realize what we were watching, but she kept going, oh, interesting. It was really funny, but I was trying to watch it in the middle of handling her. And I just saw it when they did the room pan, so I was it just looked out of place to me, and the size of it, I couldn't get over when they were panning on the floor. I kept thinking, all right, we need to see the smudges. Like she didn't walk into any of her own drops. It was very weird to me. Did y'all think that too in the chat? Like, didn't you think it was bizarre? There were no feet prints?
And to me also, I don't know how other people feel about this. Do you guys feel like the way that he described the amount of red stuff was way more than what was actually?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he was, and that's another interesting thing, the way he describes it as if though, he's saying spraying everywhere. And it's like, not to underplay that there was not a lot of red stuff, because there was, but it wasn't what I expected off of what he portrayed the room.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was near as much as I thought. But you know what I thought was weird is the search for where's the carotid? Anybody in the medical field, especially nurses, can look at your neck in about 2.5 seconds and eyeball your carotid artery. It's like a nurse would never, I don't think, Google where is the carotid. Like, how do you somebody's throat? I mean, it was,
and I feel like it almost is even more telling with the searches being done by a nurse, but then followed by how to disable the airbags on her specific model of car. I just felt like, oh, that just is very telling that we think this isn't a nurse, because why is a nurse actually searching this? Because she knows this. And then it's muscle memory in her brain, okay? And then you have to search for the airbags. It just screams Patrick.
And when it's strange, didn't it strike you odd, the searches and just all of it? It did not, you wouldn't ever get me to think that a medical professional, much less an RN, searched for those things. She
had an appointment. I know Adam had a problem understanding this part, but Adam was thinking that the appointment was Cora's appointment the day of everything happening, but she also had an appointment for Colin's ears. Mm-hmm. So there was more than one appointment. And during these searches, Lindsay was not home.
Right.
It's just that simple. She did not make those searches. And also that same day, her Facebook was, he clearly went into her Facebook.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm glad that Reddington pointed that out today. And again,
we have those narcissists.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm just reading it. Apparently it's Lindsay that has the narcissist eyes. I would say it's completely the opposite.
Yeah, I think so. I think she looks very medicated. Someone tried telling me I had the wrong in my comments, and I got so frustrated out. She is on a lot of medicine, but yeah, she's on a lot of medications. Micah's mommy, that's for sure. I was surprised she got as emotional as she did yesterday, given the amount of meds that she's on. It can be very hard, to have those kind of emotions when you're as medicated as she is. And I think she's pretty medicated. I don't know. I don't know what she's on now. I don't think they put that out. But what does him going on her Facebook have to do with the crime? The fact that he had access to all of her apps, and why would he go on her Facebook? Well, it was him searching up how do you locate the carotid artery? Like you couldn't. What? Why would she let you?
Adam in the chat, in our chat, was literally today before we got on here was trying to send us screenshots of Google of why it was that she would be able to talk, and that even
She
with
couldn't talk.
thyroid, he was saying that she would have been able to talk. So I'm over Adam for the day.
I don't
Yeah.
know. You
I'm
aggravate the
done.
girls while I was at work.
I think I this is anecdotal again, so I'm not saying this is necessarily Lindsay and Patrick, but I know that when my husband was around chasing everything with a pulse, he did a lot of deflection. He did a lot of checking up on me. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? Blah de blah, blah de blah. And it wouldn't strike me as completely out there that Patrick wasn't checking up on Lindsay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Before, Katie, I don't mean to not go on what you're saying, but I needed to say, because I had missed this at the end of the trial today, apparently, my sister told me that the prosecution requested that the psychiatrist and the priest could no longer visit Lindsay.
What? Why is it up to them?
And it just felt like, I'm like, this is, and the judge said no to it, obviously, but it just goes to the evilness that my family's got home. Sorry, hold on.
You're fine. Oh shit. Sorry, guys.
Oops. Goodness me.
Sorry.
Goodness gracious.
Just a wreck over there. Jeez. And I am just a wreck. I mean, I'm at work watching.
How does the state have the right to say that she cannot really receive visits from her religious, her pastoral care? That's overstepping immensely, in my opinion.
I agree. I do. I get what she was saying about like, why are they letting them back there? And if we have to call them as a witness, well, then why didn't you have them on your witness list? And then maybe this wouldn't be an issue. I don't think I don't think that woman has a clue what she's doing. She's just annoying. Again, I didn't even hear anything she said all day because I don't know if I have adult ADHD or if I just can't.
Alicia says that the judge denied that, so good.
Yes, everybody except for the doctor. They did give because she was already on the list. So he really is good to Reddington.
Even a condemned person on DR gets to speak to a priest or whoever they wish to speak. I mean, that
Exactly.
talk about overstep.
Yeah. I think she's just being petty, to be honest with you. And I like what Adams or Reddington said about the fiasco that they pulled yesterday. I'm glad he pointed that out again. What they did yesterday.
Bowhead.
Prosecutor's an evil woman. She's horrible. And she's way out of her league. Hey, Boots.
We need Boot up here.
Did you request? I don't know how to invite and all that stuff. Like, I just don't know how to do it.
I think your chat boxes, there should be a plus sign with invite. That's it.
I'm like so TikTok unsavvy. Like I've been doing this in live for a long time. That's why I have Cherry. Let's let our
my
doctor
favorite cardiologist in the entire world.
Hello.
Hi, my darlings.
Hello.
I can't be on for long today, but I just wanted to say that yesterday completely broke me. I had to stay offline completely.
I don't blame you.
Yesterday was so mean-spirited. Yesterday was evil.
Yes.
Nobody deserves this. We are not here to talk about,
and I've
like
not
the
heard
kids
of
are
them
gone. We
in
didn't need
any
that much
other
graphic
case.
details over and over again. It was miserable.
I've never heard a prosecutor ask a medical examiner to provide such details as then I remove the eyes and then I cut up the... And it's absolutely torturous. And you
That's
cannot
insane.
tell me that she was not doing it out of spite, because I think she absolutely was.
She was being a bully for sure.
Yeah.
100%. It was horrible. I've never seen anything like that either. She wanted her to hear every.
And she was heartbroken. I don't care what anybody says. I remember the sound my mother made when we got the phone call that my brother was dead. And I'll tell you what, you could play those recordings side by side of Lindsay and my mum, and you would have heard that same note in their voices.
You got to remember, she didn't get
I'm
to go
sorry,
to their
Katie.
funeral. She didn't get to do it. I'm so sorry, Katie.
That's all right, my darling. It's a long time ago now, but both my brother and my mum have gone. And I'll tell you a tale about that one day, but not now.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
it's really unfortunate. Like someone said she did it out of spite, and I
Aw.
completely agree, because she's trying to get her, the fact that she was shushed or silenced when she said shut her mouth, but Reddington caught her, that was a blow to her ego. And one thing about an evil person
the
is
look
that
on
no,
her face.
she needs to show authority and who is in charge. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna come back and hit you where it hurts.
Yeah.
Let's show you what happened to these kids.
I agree.
So terrible,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
unprofessional.
It was out of spite.
Yeah.
It
And
was.
she made that face again when Kevin Reddington brought it up. She made that exact face to her cohort that, that what is he talking
Yeah.
about? That's fake.
Her and her stupid ass face.
Who, me?
Yeah.
As if.
I agree.
Literally Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Just relax
Tweedledum and
and take that
Tweedledum.
fuck ass bow from your head. It keeps pissing me off. Those three, she has traction alopecia at this point. It's 3 hair strands. You do not need a bow. Relax. It's so evil. Everything she does is evil.
I don't think she was. I think the fact that didn't she take Cora to a doctor that very day? I don't think that's something you do. Worry about your child's long-term health.
Yeah.
If you're planning, it's premeditated. You wouldn't, would you?
Harley Quinn, the prosecution was heard on a hot mic the first time she cried, saying someone shut her up.
Mm.
And Reddington caught
She
it.
called out the next day, and she literally had this look on her face to say, "What? I didn't say that."
They did.
And honestly, what grinds my gears and like burns my blood, literally makes my blood boil, is the fact how poorly investigated this case was.
Yeah.
We're sitting here watching people who are supposedly investigated this continue to say, I don't recall, I don't recall.
True.
Exactly. Like, what do you, and they got the papers to like, I don't know what the legalese is called, but there's the paper out for, like the warrant for her arrest or whatever in 24 hours. In 24 hours, y'all were like, all right, she's our only suspect. Let's go get her.
Right.
What?
A
Yeah,
very
exactly.
funny
Who did it? She did it. Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Exactly.
Done,
She only
guys.
told me. It's just Patrick's world, and we're here to just listen to everything that Patrick says because Patrick knows all.
They
Right.
did say shut her up.
Patrick,
I've
that's
listened
exactly
to that
what they
time
said.
and time again.
It was brought to the judge's attention that she said
Yes.
it was on a hot mic that she didn't know it was on. And so, here's what we're not going to do today. It's, y'all, please, and we had to go through this with Carrie yesterday. Like, we debunked everything that she said. We just watch the trial and do your due diligence before you.
I'm not getting into did so, did not, patriot peasant.
We're not.
Like, no, it's and the issue is we just had the Karen Reed case. We know how corrupt and flawed our our legal system is. We know that shit isn't done properly. We know how flawed the medical system is. We know that patients are not taken care of properly. Everything has failed, Lindsay, and other women as well, and men. There are other men that have gone through insane shit, right? But what we're not going to do is sit here and say, oh, no, they said it happened, so it happened. Some of y'all wouldn't even get vaccinated when we told y'all to get vaccinated. Stop acting like you guys are such, good rule followers and shit like that and not questioning things. It really bothers me.
I
Stop.
think he had a burner phone. I'm sorry. I think that he spoke to his bit on the side on a burner phone, booked hotels, etc. on a burner phone.
Honestly, the fact that, and I'm so glad for Reddington, but the fact that he was able to find that none of these posts were made by her is insane. Insane.
How are you naysayers going to explain that away? Why is he logged in?
I'm more of a fool.
This man thought he was going to get away with it.
Yeah, he was searching under her.
He posted that post when she was at the hospital with the kids. He posted that shit in the mommy group.
Yeah.
He posted that.
My husband would never think of getting into my things and posting.
I do as well use a 8429305 blah blah blah. Yeah. Please give yourself a name, honey bun.
Right.
Hey, Boots.
What can we call you, user, so that we remember?
I
Unless
don't
you
want to
just
call
want
them
to
user or either. Like
I think
Can I
just quote what they
can I
said,
just
like
call
the
you
person that
81?
said fabulous or the person that said this or that. But also, a lot of these people are
Shug. You got
bots
it,
and like
Shug.
trolls.
Well, I'm
Sug.
very
Is that
lesbian.
Sug or Shug?
Same. Well, I'm not a lesbian, but I'd kiss him on the lips too. I just
Yeah,
love
I want him to adopt me. I may be 56, but you know what? That shouldn't come into it. That's just
I think
ageist.
he's old enough to be your daddy.
Reddington truly, he makes me still have faith in men,
Yeah.
honestly, because the way he's doing God's work, investigating and protecting this woman who's been
Yeah.
failed by everyone is
And
just,
he is protective towards her. And now, I mean,
yes,
I
yes.
don't think, with all the things that he'd seen, the
Mm,
amount of empathy he shows to Lindsay, if he had one shred of, oh, yeah, she did this. And I
mm,
don't care people saying, oh,
yeah,
he's already admitted that she did it. No, he said the prosecution is going to say that she did this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen so many selective clips on here where it looks like he is saying,
Emphasis on selective clips.
yes.
Emphasis on selective clips. Because make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, can we discuss that video? Is it okay for us to speak about that? I'm losing my words. The reporter that said she heard her say basement. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding
talk
me?
about it because I need updated on
That
that.
is
What was
so
that?
there's a video going around about a reporter. And what this reporter does is textbook manipulative reporting, where she doesn't just tell you facts, she draws a picture. And she starts with she looks very decent, sounds very,
You
reputable.
really
But
have
this
a
is what she says.
comprehension problem, Patriot Queen.
Right,
You know
truly,
what? I'll
right?
handle the comments.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it, Katie. I got the
So
comments.
so
I'll
she
acknowledge
starts
people who need to be acknowledged. Don't worry. Go
so
ahead.
she starts with I've lost a lot of friends in the 80s due to the AIDS epidemic, and it's just been so miserable and terrible, and I know that pain. And I also recall once when I had to go deliver the news to my best friend's mother, and the scream she let out has stayed with me for 40 years. And I want to let you know, we heard that call in the courtroom, and this is exactly what happened. We hear him call for help and then go and find these kids. And oh, no, wait. And you can clearly hear her tell him basement, right? And then you hear him clearly go down and scream. And that scream reminded me of the scream that my best friend
And they said, "Hey Jen, I need your phone.
No,
I
it's
need
not
your
frozen
computer."
for me. Love.
I'd be like,
Try,
"Take whatever you need. What do you need
try
to figure
swiping
out
out and
here?"
come back in again, Rach.
Yeah,
it's
I
insane.
did just go on and off, back off my Wi-Fi to reset it. So if you
Yeah.
guys are having a problem, if
Oh,
it's
okay.
freezing, let me know.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. If
Yeah.
I even just get a whiff of people thinking that I am guilty, Put it all out. I would like my innocence to be proven so that we can get to the
I am
subject
one of
matter.
those really sad people that when you're accused of something, I will actually stand there and my brain will go, well, did you do it?
Yeah. Not retain a criminal defense lawyer, right? Right?
Crazy.
So sorry. So Surrender. She just said that he screamed so loudly, and she's convinced that because a man screamed so loudly, then he in fact is innocent. That's literally what she said.
My
Okay,
God.
so I have a
But
question.
imagine if he did do it and the pent up rage he would have knowing that Lindsay wasn't dead yet.
Exactly. Or we haven't heard men scream enough that we think any man showing any type of emotion is just immediate. Oh yeah, agony. Because in medicine, when women used to cry, there was something called
It's
hysteria
hysteria.
that they used to put on women.
And they believed that their wounds were
Exactly.
all over their bodies.
Exactly. We still have diseases, Katie, till today that we don't diagnose properly because we
Not enough
we haven't
research done on women.
investigated enough.
You know, somebody said the other day they've done more investigations and medical studies into male pattern baldness.
Yeah,
than they
that
have
was me, Katie. Yeah.
endometriosis. Oh,
Yes, that
see?
was, yep.
I mean,
Yep.
what a telling tale.
There you go. So I'm not going to sit here and believe anything.
Yeah.
We sat here today and saw this man fudge up her shit. He went in there and Googled how you slit a neck or get the carotid
Honestly, at
artery.
this point, Patrick is giving Hoss long to die in cold.
Exactly. Literally. How long does it take to choke someone out?
Yeah.
I
There's the
hope they
carotid
keep
artery.
digging. I hope they keep digging.
Ways
And I
to
hope.
commit suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, commit schmuicide.
Yeah.
TikTok shop.
TikTok shop.
It's brilliant. The bargains you can get on their boot.
There.
As
But
much
yeah.
money as I spend in there, they better leave me alone today. So
It's just insane. It's insane. And also, did you guys see his
Cherry, I
post?
didn't even see you come up, you little stealth artist.
Did you guys see his post from his trip to Costa Rica 20 days after the murder?
Yes.
The Schmitz happened?
Yeah.
is that
Yeah.
true? So 20
Yeah.
days
You went
after.
hiking in Costa
I'm gonna send it. I'm
Rica.
gonna send it in the group, Cajun. I'm gonna send it in the group,
Please.
all of it.
Yeah,
all of it.
please. I want to show it to everybody. So 20 days after his family was annihilated, he went to Costa Rica.
Yeah. And said, "Oh, what wonderful trail hikes." And you know what? The only thing
Not
that
sure
sucks.
about
Someone
the
said 28 days.
$17
Okay,
though.
roughly 20 days. Okay, everyone. Anyways, he's like, it was amazing, and the only thing is that they charged me $17 for blah blah blah. But other than that, it's amazing. I had such a relaxing time. What?
I got to go work later. Sorry.
God, let me find it. Yeah, because I'll say it for a second. Let me find it.
Yeah, that's crazy. 20 days later, he's in Costa Rica.
Yes.
But that's okay.
and giving reviews on the hiking point. And I mean, what?
Absolutely insane. I don't buy this for. Nah, I can't even imagine. That scream. Dexter. Sorry, guys. Please don't make him bark. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I bet the mistress was as well. And I can't get the idea out of my head that he had a burner phone as well.
Well, wasn't there a second phone? Shut up. Hold on. I swear to God.
Yeah, imagine Miss Henny, imagine trying to keep that man happy. It must have been, and you've got 3 kids, 5 and under. Poor Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine trying to make that man happy?
Did you see them at the museum where he's just standing off? She's got the baby on in front of her.
Yes, I
The
put
kids
that
are
in
running
the,
around.
in
He's
the
nowhere.
chat. You
And-
would
and-
think that he was not part of that family. All that
No.
I think Cora went to stand by him for a little while, and then she went back to her mum. And it
You
was
know-
all interaction with the mum. They didn't interact with Patrick. He looked like he was with a different family.
And also,
about
did you
the
guys
place.
see the part where what's it called? Where he just goes like, I went to sleep in the basement because the only time she could sleep is when like the kids were sleeping
Yeah.
as well. So when did she do all of that research at night, Patrick? But you were downstairs in your basement Googling your little shit on
only
that
slept
Surface
there for
Pro
2 nights.
laptop,
Agreed.
He only slept there for 2 nights, and then she took over sleeping in the basement. I mean, what a gentleman.
right?
Guys, can I just add something real quick? I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I was looking at like the unsealed court docs, and I was looking at the search warrant affidavits and stuff like that. And during his interview with the police officer or whoever was doing it, what he said in there was really, really, like, I don't know, just kind of odd to me, because he's like, yeah, we say we love each other like 10 times a day, and just like talked it up, like their relationship. And also like he kind of didn't see, well, he also said in there too about how she had mentioned about harming the kids and harming herself. But then you look at the interview that they do with the best friend, and it's like a completely different rhetoric from what he stated, and acted like they were like laughing about her like seeing a therapist and stuff like that. It was really weird to me.
Yeah,
So,
and
I don't know if
she
you guys
only
have had a
wanted the
chance to
meds
look at
because all
that,
her
but
friends
One
were
at a
on.
time. Go ahead. What did you say, Joelle? I didn't hear the last part.
I said, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to like look at that or see any of those unsealed documents, but it was just strange to me. You know what I mean? Like to make it a point to be saying something like that. And then you see him in a video like what was shown today. And I've been trying to be like unbiased on this whole thing and see like the actual evidence and stuff. But his whole demeanor in that video did not show me somebody who's saying, oh, we love you, 10 times a day or whatever. And maybe it was like an off day or something, but just given the events and everything like that, it just seemed weird to me.
Joelle, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be a leading question or anything, but do you know a Patrick? A guy who acts like that?
No. Like a guy named Patrick, or just somebody with that
No,
demeanor?
someone, a Patrick, just somebody who's like that. You recognise something in him because you've seen it before.
Like, have you known a man like Patrick?
I've noticed those types of traits in people. Like, you put on one face when you're sitting there talking to somebody, and then it's completely different behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like that narcissistic type of personality almost. Like, it's a show for everybody else, but was it really like that? Because it seemed like she was trying her best to do, everything for her kids. And that's why this case hurts me so much, because you can see that with her journal entries and stuff like that. And it just hits me in the feels, because I have 3 kids of my own. And I'll tell you what, some days it's hard. And when the babies were babies, like, that was especially hard, because I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. Like, my husband was the best at helping me out when they were babies. So I felt those feelings, not the feelings like the postpartum like she did or anything like that, but to that level of just exhaustion and just feeling like depleted, and like you kind of have nobody there for you, and you're so focused on trying to do the best for your children that you're just pushed aside. And this woman has reached out for help in so many different avenues, and it's just heartbreaking to see how everything ended up. You know what I mean? When you could clearly see that her life was her children.
Yeah, you could. I agree with you there. You know what got me? What really got me is when they were in the museum and she was with the kids and she's got the baby in the front pack. Never once ever did I have our son on me on that front pack. If I was with my husband, he had that baby on his front and walked everywhere. And it just blew my mind. Like, she's trying to do everything and he's just standing in the corner when he thinks nobody's watching, right? And then she's trying to wrangle the kids and she's got the baby on the front pack and trying to do all the museum stuff. And I'm just like, and she's got the stroller pushing it around. Yes. Well, he's over there doing nothing, and it blew my mind. And
Cora was skipping around, and she even went over to him at one point. Didn't stay long. She soon went back to her mum, and
I mean, wasn't it crazy to see that? Like, he couldn't even carry the baby. Like, God, what is wrong with these men? It just blows my mind.
Aggravating.
Boots back.
Yeah, just so much put on mothers, and I just don't think men realize it. Like, it's unfair.
Right. Apparently, there are 12 women and 6 men on the jury. It's a especially big jury. I don't know why. There's 18, not 12.
Really?
Say that again?
There's 18.
Apparently, there are 18 people on the jury, not 12. I've got no idea why.
Okay. They're saying because it's a grand jury.
Did you get to see the occasion? Did you get to see what I sent in the group, his profile? Yeah, you check it out. I just sent it.
Okay.
Honestly, she could have been a single mum at that point. It
Right.
looked
Fair.
like Patrick did not interact with his family in any way, let alone a meaningful way, just on his phone. He's probably texting her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm here. It's so boring with these kids.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause on mine and you guys keep talking.
Sorry, Jimbo, I haven't seen that. What if she's found guilty? I'll be extremely surprised if 18 jurors convict her.
I
With
highly
all this
doubt
coming
it.
out.
Oh, someone said 6 are alternatives. Okay.
Oh, is that why? Okay, that makes sense. I think she could cope fairly well with 2 kids, but I think, bless his heart, Callan, I think if you're not getting enough help. I mean, I had 2 babies very close together. They're Irish twins, they're 13 months apart.
Boots.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I heard you say earlier about do you think that he was the one that posted in that mom group?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's
Yeah.
what's interesting is when they interviewed Kyle Carney, he was saying so Lindsay and Patrick went over to the Carneys to
Wait,
have
who's Kyle Carney? Because I didn't watch
Best
today.
friend.
Oh, ooh. Okay, carry on.
before college, and they were just, like couple friends of Patrick and Lindsay. So they went over for like a couple's dinner, went over to their house, and Kyle reports that Patrick had told him that Lindsay was addicted to the Z's and that she was having the worst possible side effects one could have from withdrawing from them. So when you say, because one of her posts that she made a while, like I learned about a while back, was where she had talked about the ad, and she had said it works perfectly. And I just thought, oh no, I hope there wasn't any where this is before everything kind of broke out, but I was like, gosh, I hope she wasn't struggling with addiction, you know?
He really is laying the groundwork, isn't he, for everybody to despise Lindsay as much as he did.
But I
You know what sucks is that he thinks he's smart and he thinks he's getting away with it.
Yeah.
Even if they find her like guilty or not guilty, I promise you, this man's gonna find his day in court because he really is sitting there thinking that he got away with the perfect crime. Perfect crime.
And he's sitting on a huge pile of money.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Cash
still
it
don't
out
understand-
immediately.
I still don't understand how he got the entire money from the sale of the house.
Not just the sale of the house, the GoFundMe, and this is what he did before the GoFundMe went live. He wrote in it that please do not, judge Lindsay. We don't choose mental health. Mental health chooses us, and she was a great mother, and I
reads
love
so
her, and I'm dedicated to
performative
this
to me.
family. Yeah, and then after he cashed out the 1.7 million, he went to the New York Post and called her a monster, and then filed the civil cases for malpractice against the hospital. The monster that killed my kids in the New York Post.
Children's life insurance.
There you go. And the children's life insurance.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Come on. And I think Reddington is slowly showing everyone that even though it is, I can understand this is not what they're on trial for. We understand. But I really think that this needs to be reinvestigated and reopened. Nobody's above the law. Nobody. Her and for everyone just talking, Lindsay's life is over.
God.
Lindsay's life is over. She lost her children. She dedicated her life. Every waking moment of her life was dedicated to these kids. Her life is over. You guys can rest. The damage has been done. She will never live a normal life. She's paralyzed. She's lost the reason that she was alive, and the reason she fought to stay sane is gone. It's over.
Yeah. Agreed.
And frankly, unbelievable as well that the defense has more evidence. I mean, what an absolute
Shit show.
debacle of an investigation. I mean, he said she did it. They went, okay, then thanks, Patrick. A cursory investigation on him, which was said to be lasted 24 hours. So realistically, you can halve that.
Yeah.
And even less than that, it would have been, oh yeah, he said that he went here. We've looked at the cameras at CVS. We've looked at the cameras at the restaurant.
His
No,
alibi
I think
matches. Yep.
I think he did it all before he left.
Yes, 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 he did. He did. I'm telling you, he did. I swear he did. There's just no way that he
And
did
I
that.
still haven't had anyone explain to me why that one EMS lady said there's a hanging kid in the basement.
I heard somebody else said that, but I couldn't
I
find
sent
it.
I sent the video. It's in the group. It's
I
in the
don't.
group,
Oh, it's in the
Asia.
group.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was at
She
work.
said it. It was it was one of the ladies early on. She's black hair, and she literally says she runs behind him because someone says there's a kid hanging there.
Oh, Dawson was.
Yes, there will be evidence, Kerry, and I think it's coming out.
Yeah. See, that's why we have all of you so that we can stay on top of things because it's almost like some of us hear things, some of us don't. So I love when you guys bring things that I've missed to so that we can stay on. Hey, Snack Pack. Yeah, I just saw that video of her saying that. Did you? I'll have to watch it when I go to work tonight because I'm on an overnight and I'll be able to catch
You guys
up.
know what I think happened a little bit, and this might also not, but I think he got rid of her first, had like tossed her outside first before he even left, had the kids locked in his basement, right? Just and while they're eating or they had plates with them or whatever,
I think
came
so.
back, took the plates from the kids, right? Put them on top of his little, because that's all he had in his hand, right? And then went down to do what he did and then called 911. Because
agree.
once again, they were still able to resuscitate one of them.
Yeah.
It's either that or the baby, like we talked about, just wasn't gone, and he was almost gone. kind of like the Watts kids. Either that or
And
he just.
who, if you're giving CPR to your children that you found in that terrible state, stops and puts them on their front? And yet, the firemen who went down into the basement categorically state that Patrick was not doing CPR on any of the kids. He was just sitting on the couch.
Yeah, he was sitting on the couch around all of the bodies. And he said he found them on their back, and then all of the EMS people said no, they were on their front. Like, does that make sense? Like, he said they were lying face down. That's what Patrick said, but every EMS person said no, they were on their backs.
Yeah.
Boo was up here, Jessie Wessie. I know she does sound like somebody else that I used to be in another true crime, but it's not her. You sound just like somebody, Boots, that sounds very familiar on TikTok.
Okay.
She's actually she's a physician. She's a cardiologist. So, we like to have the people up here that have the medical background, just because so many of us that do have the medical background cannot make this make sense.
I don't know how on earth I pronounce your name.
Who?
Right, to me it looks like Toonie or Toon. It's sort of Egyptian.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like an ankh. Someone help me out here.
Yeah, whatever your name is, Tone. Okay, I don't
thank
think
you.
that the baby was gone. I think she
I was
thought
thinking,
she,
is that
smothered him,
Anubis?
but didn't. So I think that's what we're looking at there, is that she thought, or he thought, the baby was gone, and he just wasn't, and that's why they were able to.
He thought everyone was gone. That man banked on all of them being dead, and he didn't know God just had something else planned for him.
Yeah.
I truly believe that it looks so frantic to me, Boots. And again, that Boots, somebody said that when she Googled where's the carotid artery, can you not look at somebody's neck and point it out in about 2.5 seconds?
I'll tell you one better. I'll find it for you with my hand. I can place my hand on it. Like, I want you to understand, if she's a nurse and she Googled where do I find my carotid, she needs to give back that nurse license.
Right.
That's impossible.
Exactly.
Right? Because every medical professional is supposed to be able to give life-saving measures to anybody as baseline, right? And I check your pulse with your carotid. Right. I know where your pulse is. I can do it with my eyes closed.
Exactly.
There's no way. There's no way.
No, there's no way she would ask that. It just knows. There's CNAs, HHAs, RMAs. I have a whole bunch of CNAs and RMAs that work for me, and they could tell you where it is. They could do they wouldn't Google the questions that she supposedly
to me, CNAs are the backbone of the health service. They are nowhere near. I mean, nobody in the medical field really in nursing.
I'm going to tell you this right now, Katie. As a nurse, I am nothing. As a physician, I am nothing without my nurses. Nothing. The hospital would not run without nurses. And I respect the nurses so much more than someone like me who comes in, does, the easier stuff, and then they'll take care of the patient.
And the CNAs, they're in the trenches with the patient.
Oh,
absolutely. Especially a labor and delivery nurse. That's top tier shit.
Yeah,
That's someone on her game.
nursing school. Good, Rock. Good. As you should. And I think every nurse should have to be a CNA before they become a nurse.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I think
I
they
think
should all have
they
to
should do a minimum of 100 shifts as a CNA. That's the minimum.
Because it's
And
you
every
should have to.
doctor should as well.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree. So I think that for her to Google "where's my carotid artery" blew my mind. It simply did not happen.
I wonder
Like
why
saying, how
though.
do I take my temperature?
No, but you guys, you know what I wonder? I wonder why he Googled the airbag shit when she doesn't drive. We know she stopped driving. So what was it
Somebody
with this
did
airbags?
explain that might be because of the baby car seat, but then you just put the baby seat in the back, couldn't you?
Yeah, why would you put a baby up front? It's illegal. You're not allowed
Exactly.
to. It's illegal.
Oh, you're not. Oh, it's not
Oh, yeah.
illegal here
In the
because
US,
some
in the
of
US, it's
them
illegal.
will only go in the front passenger seat over here.
Oh
But,
no, we don't have that here. They will
but
take you
yeah,
to prison.
that's very odd about how do I disengage the airbags?
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
What was that?
And I mean, all these cars now, they have onboard computers. And I mean, that's one of the things that they brought up in the Karen Reed case was the fact that all the onboard computers on her car did not support their theory of saying that she hit anything.
Right.
My only qualm, honestly, and this is for the women in the police force, like, do y'all need help? Because why are you guys like shutting up about this level of corruption?
Honestly, I think
This isn't the
that
first
women-
woman out of Massachusetts to
and I
scream
can,
bloody murder
I
and
can
get
say
ignored.
this after being a woman in the military, and I did do medic duties and I did do regimental police duties. Honestly, it's like swimming up a hill of golden syrup.
Oh, girl, then the block that burn it all down. I'm dead serious. Like, it does not need to exist if it's messing up women's lives.
It will be one day. It will be one day. But I'll tell you what,
So
we're
sad.
not there yet. And the
This is so
casual sexual discrimination and the casual sexual harassment.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have my regimental sergeant major, the highest ranking non-commissioned person, literally chased me around the orderly room, seeing if I was wearing, in his words, webbing, which was stockings and suspenders under my barrett dress. I mean,
That is wild. I'm so
and
sorry
everybody
that
would
happened
just
to
sit there
you.
and laugh.
Girl, that's crazy.
Thanks, since the 1600s. Mandy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. And then, yeah, Casey, he not only went to Costa Rica 20 days after his family was unalive, but he left an amazing review of how much
Can you
fun he
please
had.
read it to them, Cajun? Please show
It
them.
didn't come through on the email.
Oh, no,
let
on the
me-
email. I sent it in the group.
Oh, you sent it in the group.
Yeah,
No
in the
wonder
group.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for Let me read that, y'all. It's just, and the fact that he went to Costa Rica 20 days
Exactly.
later, hi, Strawberry Cream, blows my mind. You know, it's, I don't know. I'm not here to say how anybody should grieve, but I mean, it's just, it doesn't rub me the right way. It really doesn't. Hold on, where are we? Where are we? There we are.
Did you find it? Because I can send it again.
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
It's the last thing I sent.
Okay, I'm right here. All right, I'm going to play this, so everybody just be quiet while it plays, please, and let the audience hear it. This is
Oh, no. It won't play. You can just read it because I took a screenshot of it. Because
okay. So this is his review in Costa Rica. And it says, the hike was amazing. It is short, but lots of stairs. You will be dripping sweat. I'm not sure about the S17. I was the only one there with no one else in sight. But there's also 0 cell service, so the rest of it isn't showing. But he went to like Costa Rica 20 days later, y'all, and is leaving amazing reviews for the resort. Does that sound like a father in distress, or does that sound like somebody who might have met his girlfriend down there and was having a great time on the beach in Costa Rica where nobody knows who he is? You know, come on. It's just, I'm just.
Jimbo, you need to go back and hear the judge's statement right at the beginning of the trial.
The one where he explains that we can't claim a guilty, and all of this can be retried.
It is a trial to find her innocent or guilty because people are taking what they want and it's not right. That's not what's been said.
She's pregnant right now with baby number 2.
Exactly. Tell him. And the fact that he was a sailor, he's a runner, a hiker. That little knot that was done, what was that? Like
Hold on,
There's
Nia.
some posted saying it's
So
their
is
third year.
wait a minute. The girlfriend posted saying it's their third year together.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, baby number one is his. No,
Yeah.
they had a baby last year.
I
So
might say it's from another man, but I very much doubt it.
they got married at the
No,
beginning
no.
of this year. So that would have been 3 years out, you know. And the second is by him too as well. Yeah. So they have a baby boy, a little boy, and she's pregnant again.
And
They got
wouldn't you?
May
I'm
they be
sorry,
haunted by the ghosts of these innocent kids for the rest
And
of their lives.
wouldn't you? If I were Patrick, the first thing I'd do is book myself in for a bloody snip. I'm not going through that again.
right. Like I'll check. Yeah. I mean, it's just I can't see this happening. And he just went to Costa Rica all by himself 20 days later, but he's feeling good enough to put reviews out. Like,
Exactly.
I
guys,
don't think he will
Exactly.
leave her like he did Lindsay because she comes from money. Her father is that sex cult Nixian or whatever it's called, where that Superman actress was
yeah.
away. Her father is something high up in that.
I'm not
Mind you,
surprised.
Patrick is also very well off, like very, very well off. His brother is a coach for like a prominent high school in New York and stuff. Yeah, no, not he's like the coach of the sail
Well,
team in
that's
one of
true.
the yeah, which is insane. So much corruption in this shit. And
From what I
also someone
understand,
said that they saw someone from his community in Massachusetts speak out and were like, yeah, we're all convinced he did it. We just don't talk about it. But they're like all, looking at him funny because it doesn't add up.
So the new wife also put a review on that resort and said she loved it 3 years ago. It would have been in see. I'm not surprised he didn't go there. Look, and again, and I don't even keep bringing this
Yes,
up. I've
Lorenzo,
lost
I agree
count.
with that.
I don't even remember the 6 months around our loss. Like it's a blur to me. Much less that you could have peeled me off the floor long enough to not pee my pants. Much less go to Costa Rica. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to me. And leave
And
a
write a
review at a
review.
resort. And he
Yeah.
lost 3 of them in
Josh,
this
no need to
brutal
spam, mate.
And you know what? What
I'll
also?
just say.
No,
So you go,
ahead.
Boots.
No, please.
I
You
was
go.
going to
Go.
say that I read the review, and she said, and this is verbatim and in parentheses, she said,
Yes, man.
this is our third year going, and so yeah, she said this is our third year going,
What?
yeah.
So, tell me he wasn't.
I've got it saved.
And that amputee doctor is really good friends with this infertility doctor right now. That's why she was so smug in her testimony.
Yeah.
It
Man.
just doesn't feel right.
Lock everybody up.
I think Reddington's going to lay it all out there for us. I think, like I said all week, he's dropping these breadcrumbs and he's going to bring it all together. And we're going to have this moment where our jaws are on the floor because he's just going to bring it home for us. And I really do.
I'm
believe
sorry,
none of the stuff he's talking about has anything to do with her mental health. Nothing.
My
you know?
jaw is already on the floor after today's testimony. The fact that she
just gonna
was
say that,
on
yeah.
the way to the doctors, at the doctors, and at the same time that she was at the doctors, searches were happening on the laptop at home to ask how to slit I can't say it out loud, but the neck region, and how to disconnect airbags, And, a big part of me, I know one of the rules in my business is a mother's intuition is 9/10 of the rule. So if I'm hearing something from a mother, if I'm hearing an anxiety that's on repeat, if I'm hearing like something come back over and over and over, that takes precedence in my problem solving. She stopped driving. I wonder if she kept saying, I feel like I'm going to die.
Yeah.
She kept saying, I feel like the children might die. I feel like something bad is about to happen.
Yeah.
It's 9/10 of the rule.
Yeah.
Intuition, a woman's intuition is extraordinary, especially when that little soul that she's caring for was once united with hers for 9 months. There is a unique bond that only mothers truly understand about being connected to your child because once their soul resided in yours. Intuition is 9/10 of the rule, and everything she feared came to fruition. And I kept saying when my anxiety that was because I was so frightened about my daughter. I kept saying, I'm frightened someone's going to say she might die one day. It came to fruition. We are not foolish. But
Can
to
I
put
tell
all
you
that
something,
aside,
Cheyenne?
the evidence is horrific. The evidence is damning. I don't even know why there is anything else. Red is so furious after what they put her through yesterday. He is going to absolutely mop the floor with them mercilessly, with no empathy. He is
And I'm
going
here
to
for it.
destroy them.
I hope so, and I completely agree with you. When I first came into this, like everyone has already said, I was, like, oh, another woman that was failed by the medical system, right? And when I got on
Same.
TikTok, there was this woman that was talking, and she was like, I also had postpartum psychosis, but I was experiencing abuse at home. And this is how she explains the abuse, okay? She said that her partner at the time would play music on the lowest volume. And she would ask him constantly, like, hey, do you hear that? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? It's all in your head. He'd also, before she goes to bed, like when she goes to bed, he would whisper at her, right? And she'd wake up and be like, I could have sworn when I was sleeping, I can hear someone like speaking to me, a man speaking to me. She found all of that out by putting her own listening device or like recording devices in her house, like not in her house, in her phone, like those snoring devices, the snoring apps that catch when you snore. So she
So he
actually
was
caught him.
basically giving her subliminal messages.
She caught him whispering to her when she was sleeping. So my thing is, when you hear Lindsay's testimony, she clearly says a man told her, come on, just do it already and get over it. Like, schmill the kids. What if this was him? He's playing all of us. All of us are being played by this man. He had access to her accounts. He posted in her accounts. And if you see how she writes about her kids and that little Facebook post, it doesn't feel like the same person is talking, because she's always very reasonable when she's journaling her own journals. Like, I would never do anything to the kids, but I'm worried that I might have thoughts of hurting them, but I really love them. And, this kid is doing this, but I know it's normal for the child to do this. So she's always reasoning with herself. But that
And
little
can I
Facebook post, that was weird.
Yeah.
That did
Can
not
I
sound
just-
like her.
Can
Go
I
ahead,
just
go
say
ahead.
that as well, Boots, that when I listened to and read the affirmations thing and her little spiel underneath, after 3 decades working with, I'm talking estimated 30,000 families, that is on repeat. That is my Groundhog Day. I hear mothers with internalized guilt, internalized blame, internalized shame. Parenting guilt is really pervasive within the realm of early childhood for parents. Everything she said was the most relatable, real experience of almost every mother I've ever heard. I listened to that and just went, oh yeah, yep, that's how they all feel. Yep, if you're really struggling, that's what you're feeling. Yep, you feel guilty. Yes, you're reassuring yourself. She literally was diarizing her intrusive thoughts that ruminated around and around in her head, which was, I had to do the sleep training. He really needed to sleep. He's not the third baby that needed to learn how to sleep, but I feel so bad. God, he's so small, but no, all the evidence is saying it's not gonna hurt him. And he's, everything she said was normal. It was a normal experience. They read it out like it was some revelation of she was out of her mind, and all it did was confirm to me she loves her babies. She's desperate to keep them safe.
Yeah. And you know what also is another thing that I am honestly right now fully little bit believing, but the reason why a lot of these meds didn't work for, in my opinion, now knowing that this man went into her, shit and wrote stuff on her behalf, maybe the physicians, some of them who spoke were right. Maybe they were over-medicating her because of symptoms she never showed in front of them, because she never had, but was made to believe that she had, because she had some paranoia, because she had some annoyance. Do you understand what I mean?
Guilt
Yeah,
is just
absolutely.
the
This is a
byproduct of
literal perfect
motherhood, I think.
crime.
I mean, my youngest is 19 now. He got an offer for Oxford. And I still was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm so proud of him. What could I have done a bit better? Maybe I could have supported him a bit more. And that was after him getting an offer from Oxford, for goodness sake. I mean, we torture ourselves. We do.
My sister said so. Her son is 31, and she said to me,
I said to her, she was going, like, her son's just had a second baby and he's going through depression and he's had some mental health stuff, and we're working through it with him and supporting him. And I said to my sister, here I am with a 14-year-old, and I said to her, dude, does it ever get any easier? And she said, look, they said the first 45 years is the hardest. And I thought, oh my God, that's so true. Just, it's never ending. The first 45 years of being a parent is the hardest. It's hard. And you never stop worrying. I want to get
Promise
back
you,
to
that is
the
so normal. No, you are right, Cheyenne. Like, that is so normal. And someone wrote in the chat, they're like, everything that they heard that she said sounded normal. I
very
don't
normal.
have kids. I have a niece, and when she was born, I'm a full-on physician. I carried her, and she had like a little my nephew, and he had a little, what's it called? I'm forgetting the name right now, but it's like when the blood gets broken down too quickly, so they get yellowness in their sclera. I'm forgetting
Yeah.
it's not jaundice, but you know what I mean. It has a name. I'm forgetting it now. But anyways, and I started crying. I'm like, oh my God, this baby. How am I going to tell them? And I'm like, wait, I'm an actual physician. Why am I freaking out? It's not even like,
Yeah.
literally, I'm like, we have to protect him. Like, it sounded normal. Like,
You
normal
spend
worry.
you spend your pregnancy going, oh, they're just going to be so much safer when they're in my arms. Just get them in my arms. And then they're in your arms and you're like, oh dear God, the world. It's terrifying. It's just terrifying. Their entire life is hinged on you making the right decision every time. And well, that's what it feels like. We know that they're really durable. And, when we're talking about privileged, first world problems, there are kids in Africa that, chew on dirt to get minerals, and it keeps them alive for a very long time. But we know babies are super resilient. It doesn't stop a mother from absolutely panicking about the millage left in the bottle after this little plump baby's filled so they have a puppy dog tummy, and, there's milk spilling out of their mouth and their eyes are rolling from like delirium. They're so full, and mum is still panicked because there's 4 mils left in the bottle and she can't get
Milk
it in there.
coma.
Yeah, milk coma with those little shiny lips and oil slick eyes. And just, oh God. Anyway, so can we go to the evidence today that I really felt was just absolutely bombshell? Is that, one, why is a nurse searching how to cut the jugular? And
The carotid artery. That's what they look
yeah,
like.
carotid artery. I'm sorry. And thank you. I appreciate this, and I do want clarity. I think we have to distinguish between the evidence we're hearing and then theories we can come up with. But and I do want to sort of keep distinguishing that. I'm curious to know, why is a nurse asking that? But the fact is,
no
why is he?
reason on this earth that a nurse would be
No.
searching
And
that.
why is he searching that up? And why is he wanting to disconnect airbags? And this is all in the time frame. She is in a doctor's surgery, waiting to go in, and you sit there and you wait for 1,000 hours. I know that a prosecution got up after Redding said, guess what? She wasn't even home. The only person that could be doing these searches is Patrick, who has already clearly signed in to Lindsay's account to do these searches via her account, which feels really freaking premeditated to me.
Yes.
You want to talk about premeditated, signing into her account to do searches on, S side, and searches on how to cut, and searches on how to DIE, and searches on how to disconnect airbags. I'm telling you that this is premeditation, and she's not home. And I know that prosecution got up and said, but it only takes so and so minutes to get from here to there. I'm sorry, if you're taking a child who's in a car seat and you have to get them in the car seat with the bag, with the spare nappies, with the snacks, and then get them out of the car
stroller
seat,
out, clip it
in
together.
the pram, try to make sure that the pram's up, because we all know, and then get the bag on the pram and make sure she's got her keys in the bag and the baby's in the pram, and then she's locking up the car and she's walking up there, and then she has to go to the counter just to say, hi, we're here for the so-and-so appointment, and then she sits there and waits in a waiting room for 45 minutes before she can even get seen. We all know to get there early. And I want to know if Reddings looked at the timestamps on her phone, Yeah,
The thing that got
because
me was they released Lindsay's phone activity the day of, and there was nothing after about 4 p.m.
well,
And yet,
4:15 was the last, and then there was a big
Because he
burst
took her
around.
because he took her Apple Watch off and put it in her bedside. Because then if the Apple Watch was
Oh,
able to
this is a
read that
theory,
someone
right?
fell,
This is just
yeah. Oh,
a
this is a
theory.
theory, obviously. But you
Yeah.
know that the investigation, they didn't even take the Apple Watch for like forensic
no,
whatnot.
they
The
didn't.
defense found it and was like, hey, you guys did not take this. Take this and also look into it.
Well,
They
look, they
left it there
said
for
they
her
had
defense to find.
thoroughly searched that room. So, Boots, I'm wondering if after they had done the
They did a
search,
shit ass job.
Patrick, well, I don't know. Maybe they did a good job, but Patrick was like, okay, they finished the search. He's brought the medicine up out of his car or
Yeah, and he's
wherever
put
he
it
had
back
it,
in her.
and he's put that back in the drawer with the watch and the second phone.
They
And
had
what
a
the hell has
warrant.
she got 2
They
phones
had a
for?
warrant for her arrest, Cheyenne, in 24 hours. They did not do a good job. They didn't.
No,
They
it
could have
was
said, you know what, we need to go back and look, or we need to sit with this for a little bit longer. They did not do a good job, in my opinion.
one of the things we brought up the other night, guys, was when you have a suggestive witness where the initial part of the investigation starts with what's called a bias cascade, and everything is confirmation bias from that point on. It's very clear. Yesterday, Red was pointing out the bias cascade. All the searches were only designed for DA's evidence purposes. They were not doing a thorough, broad investigation into what happened to this entire family that's now decimated. They were doing from a bias cascade, initial start, confirmation bias, tick, 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 one thing after the other. And he keeps saying, that's what you're bringing to testimony because you missed all of the other stuff on the other side. You've only been looking into her doing this.
It's saying that it was a lazy investigation on their behalf is the kindest thing I can say.
Oh, no, it's corruption. It is corruption through and through. It's very clear there's a lot of manipulation happening from Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. I mean, those two clowns, they make me sick. I mean, we're talking about these are women. These are women, and if they are not doing their due diligence,
Although
when there is a woman
sometimes I
who's
do wonder if they're not kind of secretly maybe pushing towards it, because I can't believe that anybody would be that incompetent.
I think they're really going hard that she was just sane. That there was no way she had severe, anxiety,
I watched
depression,
another
and
lawyer
no
say that
psychosis.
today. Yeah,
They're just trying to dispute the psychosis. So while it looks like they're presenting all this evidence, that is in favor of, indicating that she was a loving mum who was having a hard time. They're trying to say she was able to form all these sentences and all these thoughts, and she was very coherent. How could she be in psychosis? So therefore this not guilty by reason of insanity is out the window. That is their main objective with everything they're presenting.
A lot of artists and writers do their best work when they're in mania.
Hey ladies,
I was gonna.
I wanted to verify, do you guys want to bring up one person at a time? I know we have 4 people requesting, but we're only bringing up one person at a time and then they can say what they want and then drop them. Is that what we're doing?
Hold on, and I want to do that disclaimer real quick too. I just want it on record, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this out because I think it's important. And what we're going to do tonight, I told everybody before you got here, Cherry, and we're going to talk about this picture in a second. We're going to have our panel up, and then we're going to bring each one of you up to talk and ask your questions and have conversation. And we're going to drop down so that we can have everybody up tonight and everybody get a chance to, voice their opinions and all that good kind of stuff. So
just for record, I'm screen recording you the disclaimer. So go for your life.
Okay. That's good because with us, a lot of us being in the medical field and medical professionals, we want to make sure that we're very clear about how we're speaking and what we're putting in the live. So I just got to get back here and then we're going to talk about this nice little picture that Casey brought. Casey, when was that? When was that taken? Do you have a timestamp on that?
So the picture, that's her profile picture for her running account. And I have the one I sent to you I have it saved, but I also have a full recording of her whole running profile and where she ran, when she ran. So it's really long. So I have to go back through that and go through the dates. But if I'm recalling correctly, this was like from way, way, way back.
Was it?
Yes.
And this was in Costa Rica, correct?
Yeah.
Lynn, let me know when you're ready to just say the disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll back to it. You guys had a lot of
Yeah,
conversations.
I had a feeling you were searching for it.
Okay. So I just want to kind of go over this with you guys real quick in case there's any questions. This is a mental health discussion disclaimer. This conversation is for education, awareness, and sharing personal experiences only. We are not medical or mental health professionals in this app right now, other than our opinion on the case. And nothing shared here should be taken as medical, psychological, or legal advice. Everyone's mental health journey is different, and personal experiences should not be used to diagnose or treat others. If you or someone you know is struggling with postpartum depression, anxiety, or any mental health concern, please seek help from a qualified healthcare professional. Please be respectful. These are real people and serious topics. Our goal is conversation, not diagnosis or treatment. Again, we're all here to listen and we want to hear the stories, but it's kind of put us in a little tough spot here because we don't want, of course we can't take responsibility and give any medical advice, just a shoulder to lean on and have our discussion in regards to how we feel this case is going with, but not anything personal in here. So we just wanted to get that out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and have people up one by one, and we're not going to leave people on the panel all night, as long as, we're having a discussion with you. That way we can have all of you up. So that's kind of the way we've decided to do it.
Where did Boots go? What happened to Boots?
I don't know. She drops down every once in a while and then comes right back.
It's
So
on the
I just
phone
look
calls and
for her
stuff.
in the thing. So let's see who is. I know that Amy has been waiting a while. So did you add her? Okay, good. Thanks, Sherry. Hi, Amy. Amy. Give her a
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I just the more and more the case goes on, it just seems heartbreaking to me that she probably all along has thought that she might have done this, that she has this. I can't think of anything more cruel to do to a woman than to mislead her into thinking that she killed her own children.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just can't imagine that. And
Do you feel like when she was watching Patrick, almost like she was starting do you think Reddington's told her, or do you think he's allowing her to feel this all in real time so we get the real reaction from her? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it seems like she's just realizing that maybe she didn't do this, but
I think from, Reddington's standpoint, I agree. I totally agree with you, Amy. The idea that this could have happened to her and that people are not even willing to consider that
Right.
She may not be the perpetrator, but in fact, a victim of a horrific crime.
yes.
And I think Reddington would be very foolish to just dump it on her. Look, we actually think your husband did this to you and the kids. I think she needs to discover it in real time. And I think
Right.
that's exactly what's happening.
Right. Yeah. I just can't think of anything more awful to do to someone. And here she's had, they say that she had brain damage. I mean, you don't get cerebral fluid from, there has to be some damage there.
Well, she had a resected spine, so they classified it as a traumatic brain injury at the time.
And there's
because
that something fracture. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, no pun intended.
Yeah, and if you've seen the X-ray photos of her actual thoracic break, it's broken and it's the spine is no longer even aligned. So when they
Right.
talk about fully resected, one part of the spine is over one side and the other part of the side. They don't even connect. The
Right.
bones of the thoracic from the top to the bottom don't join.
Right.
So I mean, it's
This is a
horrific
really good
injury.
question in the comments. Candace, why would her lawyer just not go for a not guilty plea? I think he's done this because, again, like we said last night, thank you. You have to find her guilty first. And then you have to find her guilty of what? Was she reasoned by insanity? Was it, malicious intent, whatever it was? I think he's just going to let the jury, he's putting out all the stuff, and he's going to show that she's not guilty because she didn't do it. It's on the burden of the state to prove her guilty anyways. So I think, I don't know. That's what I think.
I don't think defense wants the burden of proving she didn't do it because somebody else did on them. It really, the reason they've gone for the second part, because this is a 2-part trial, within one trial, and Reddington had requested that they have 2 separate trials. The first was to determine whether she actually did this crime, and the second would have been, if she did do the crime, was she guilty of premeditation, or was she not guilty by reason of insanity? They wouldn't allow it to be put into 2 separate crimes, and so it's actually wise of Reddington to go for Part B, because the entire burden then lies with the state to prove she did do it, and they're going to have to bring evidence, which they're doing, but it's so spotty, and he knew it's full of holes. So rather than all the pressure being on him to prove she didn't, all the pressure is on state to prove that she did, and they're going to struggle with that.
I think it was also really smart of him to try to get this TikTok influencer as a witness, because even just the argument of whether or not she should be allowed to come in or not, the prosecution had to admit that there is another alternative here. That this TikToker thinks that he did it.
Right.
So at least it puts that in their minds that there is this other possibility.
Oh, what do you mean? The TikToker thinks he did it? Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because the prosecutor said, "Oh, we can't do this. She's seen part of the trial, and she's got these preconceived ideas about the fact that Patrick did it." And so it put it, even if they don't allow it, it puts it in their mind that is another possibility.
But I don't know about anyone else, but I think the only person that put it in my mind that Patrick did it was Patrick.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, the evidence.
I can't think of any other way. I mean, I call it gut jumping. Other people call it intuition. But I'll tell you what, when I've had gut jumps about situations, people, whatever, I've never been wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish it were enough to go off, because I think the entire world's female intuitive gut feeling is something's not right here. And like everybody else, I came into this going, I need to understand how she slipped through the cracks. Because I work in the industry, and I want to make sure that I never make the same mistake.
As they said it did,
how
terrible this poor woman, but she's killed 3 children. I mean, you throw the book at her, but no.
But who's had control of the narrative, Katie? These big articles in the Times, and like all these amazing stories, and on the news pieces running the Boston Marathon, and Adam bringing up all these things with all of his narrative and all of his bias, and that's out in the public arena. She's had no narrative other than what he says. He's had control of the narrative this whole time. There's a publicity trail following him, beautifully. He's got sponsors.
Aren't they?
Yeah, wild.
Isn't that crazy that's how easy it was? I mean, doesn't that blow you away that they walked in, they're like, oh my gosh, yep, she did it. And it's just, I'm shocked.
Yeah, and then the media's been behind her, and I'd say the DA's, this is just theory, but the DA's got a big hand in making sure that those beautiful articles go in, and they take perfect photos of him on the windowsill looking solemn, and the photos of the babies on his wall and stuff. And he is living in a bachelor pad only. We know that none of that's real.
Mid-rise in Manhattan.
He has said the prosecution will try to prove to you categorically that she did it.
Yeah.
But people are using very selective clips and leaving out the first part. I mean, it's all in the editing.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked at how some of the creators are editing and putting together these videos that I watched today. Why would we want to put misinformation out there when a woman's
The
life is on the
defense,
line there?
the defense doesn't admit it, Jerky.
And this is, I think we should really, touch on this topic Jerky's brought up, that the defense admits that she did this. If you look at all the edits that are on the internet, and Jerky, feel free to jump onto my profile and have a look in my reposts. And it's the judge telling the jury what their responsibility is and why she's here under having been charged with the murders. It is in no way suggesting she is guilty of the crimes. It is only a way to get her into court to stand trial. And they have to decide if A, she is guilty because she is innocent until proven guilty, and nothing about her being arrested and standing before the jury is to suggest that she is guilty or she did do this crime. The burden of proof is on the prosecution to show evidence in this trial to prove that she did it. At this stage, the narrative that there's been a 3-year campaign and the narrative has been run by Patrick's team. And the narrative is that she told Patrick that night on the ground when he
Can I just
returned
ask
from
a
the
quick
restaurant.
question? Jerky, are you okay?
Hang on, I'll just finish this. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm just going to say the facts. The first thing that Patrick, all on his own, heard, nobody else heard it, she said, I tried to commit S. The second thing Patrick heard, all on his own, nobody else heard it, was him saying, where are the children? And she told him, according to Patrick, they're in the basement, placing her as the last person to know where the children were. So that's very convenient, but it still may be true. Okay, go for it. The next thing is the only confession that everyone is saying, she confessed to it, she did it. The only confession available is in a private conversation with Patrick on the phone on day 3 post massive trauma, where she apparently told Patrick, but none of us know because no one else heard it, and she has no recollection of telling him that she was hearing voices. And then it became very evident on trial. The defense made it clear that prosecution was going to accuse the defense's doctor of telling her to tell him she was hearing voices, although it was just an idea they were kicking around the office with the police officers and the DAs. It was just a theory, but they were going to bring that and say he told her to say that, which would confirm that she even had the conversation with Patrick, and it would actually shine a bright light on Patrick as being honest. But at this stage, I don't believe that he heard any one of those 3 confessions. They are the only confessions that are available to us to say that she claimed she did it. She has zero recollection that she said any of those things.
Jerky, what was actually said by her defense lawyer is the prosecution are going to try and prove to you that Lindsay did it. Lindsay killed the 3 kids. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot help you if your comprehension is so poor that you can't go back and investigate this properly, because at the moment...
Jerky, her lawyer did not say that. Her lawyer said the prosecution are going to try and convince you that she killed the kids, but everyone's cutting off the first part that said the prosecution is trying to convince you. And it's got him saying that she killed the kids and she went and got a rope and she tied it around and blah, blah, blah. It's just manipulation. If you want Jerky to truly just cut and dry, not listen to all the evidence, we haven't even got to defense's evidence. If you want to put a girl who could have had this crime happen to her behind bars for the rest of her life, mourning the loss of her 3 children, while a man who potentially could have done this goes free, and you are not willing to do your due diligence and make sure you have checked every box, you have crossed every T and dotted every I, then that's on you, buddy.
Oh, shut it, Katie.
Look how sad Cajun looks. Poor Jen. She's a sad,
Oh,
she's a
she's a
sad little
gingerbread
gingerbread
lady.
man.
Run,
Honey.
run as fast as you can. You literally don't understand the case. Oh, I understand this case far too well, Jerky.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to engage with Jackie because they're just a troll. And that's okay. There's going to be a bunch of
Honey,
trolls.
who the
Yeah.
fuck are you calling
I wouldn't pay
honey?
much attention to the chat. There's going to be people that are going to try to get you, debate you, and to just, it is
Well,
what
he
it
can
is.
masturbate himself.
Oh, gosh. Okay, let's get
As
some
in
more up.
Massachusetts debate, you know?
Do we have somebody else, Cherry, in the queue that would like to come up? I think we got like 4 people.
We did, but when I accepted them, they
Done
declined.
though. Yes, but I
So
do though.
I think they were
Sorry.
waiting for too long. But if anybody wants to come up, please.
Twig, do you want to come up and have a chat? Oh, we've got
We
Shay
have
up
one.
that
You know what?
joined. Hi.
We have one.
Hi.
Hi, Shay.
Hello,
Hi.
Shay.
How are you
Hi.
guys?
Good,
Good.
thank
How are
you.
you?
Doing all right, doing all right. Just been trying to wrap my brain about everything going on. But one thing that has stuck out to me, I feel like Reddington is a very smart man. I feel like he's playing this courtroom like chess because he doesn't want to throw all of his cards out there and be like, well, we think Patrick did it, because right now it's not necessarily to say anyone did it. The prosecution, like you said, is going to try to convince you, but anytime they think they're doing good, Reddington is like, look, is it her doing this though? Like, we have proof
Right.
that he's in her Facebook. Like, what else is he doing that she doesn't know? Like, and we can
Mhm.
see the normal things, like the fluffy slut. Like, and I feel like the things that she is, that they're trying to say that she's looking up that are negative, I guess you could say. It's just like, yeah, she's she's trying to use every resource that she can to find more about the things that are going into her body. What is wrong with that? Like, is that criminal for us to want more data? And for you guys are throwing all this data at us, but this data is pointing to no one. It's proving to me that I can't believe anything that you guys are saying because we've caught you in lie after lie. You want to impeach your own witness? Like, what are we doing up there? Like, this is for the children. Like, why are we dehumanizing these kids in the public when this is to get them justice? It's not to prove that Lindsay is this monster. Like, we can see that she was in pain. She was desperate to be a good mother, and she felt like she was failing in every aspect when she really wasn't. I mean, she was trying everything she could, and one thing that sticks out to me is she never wanted to do inpatient, and that always brings me back to, did she feel like she couldn't leave her kids with Patrick? Like, was she
She did want to do
scared?
inpatient. She actually admitted herself once, and then
Yeah.
she willingly went in a second time. So she definitely wanted to do inpatient.
Yeah,
Of course
but
she
they
didn't want to
always
leave
turned her
her children.
Second time, I
away.
think the second time they declined her because they
Yeah.
said she was over medicated. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah.
She went in over New Year's weekend, and everybody was on holiday, so she didn't get any treatment.
That's
So she wanted to go home for Cora's
she was
birthday.
Yeah, she was there from the January, or she went to the ER on the 31st, got transferred to the lockdown unit on the 1st, and was there until the 5th. And they're trying to say because she left early that, she didn't actually try, I think is what they're trying to push. But she wanted to be
That's
there
what
for
the
her daughter's
TikToker wanted to
birthday.
come
Like,
up.
you're telling me that she's a bad
That, and
because she
there was
doesn't.
no resources because the TikToker that wants to come up, it was a nurse there and was saying she wanted to come home because there was no nurse there. We were on a skeleton crew. There wasn't anybody working. We didn't have any resources that week because of the holiday. I don't blame her. I would have wanted to go home too. Nothing was happening. So I thought that was very interesting. And that's the TikToker that they don't want coming up. to say that. So between Cora's birthday and her just probably sitting there, which I can see in the medical field, on those big holidays, it's skeleton crew everywhere, so.
And if you in Reddington read a text that she sent the mom, I'm hoping I get to see the psychiatrist or the doctors today, and that was on January 3rd. She said, I'm hoping, and I think they're going to try to I'm afraid they're not going to let me go home.
Yeah.
Which, that I think she just wanted to be there for Cora's birthday. I think they might have been talking about keeping her longer. And I mean, is that so wrong to not want to miss your baby's
Of course she
birthday?
wanted to go home. And let's be honest, if we're not home to do all the party things, what happens? Do they happen?
Yeah,
Do party things happen without us? So I guess,
Right.
of course, seems reasonable that she'd want to be home for the party.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing they're really trying to push this, that she didn't really use all the resources. But then it takes me back. Sometimes I can't decide, is the prosecution even leaning towards that? At some points I'm like, they're helping the defense more, and it almost looks like they're even pushing towards this ideal that, is it her? And I don't know. Sometimes I catch them and I'm like, I just don't see these questions you're asking.
Yeah, I agree. And I think everyone's a bit confused about that. But I think what they're really pushing towards is the very clear fact that she's a loving mum who's in control of her faculties. And the intention of that is to say that she wasn't in psychosis. I think that's the only thing they're going for. But all Reddington has to do is introduce a shred of doubt. I have more than a shred of doubt. I have a grater full of 50 blocks of G's of doubt. 50 blocks of Swiss cheese, but everything has holes in it. I have a lot of doubt.
The fact that the prosecution wanted to pull Father Bob today, I'm like, why do you guys want to talk to that poor priest? Leave him alone. What has he got to do with this?
Yeah, I'm curious to know, what are people's theories on why that could be happening?
Because he's seeing her now, I think, and has been, and maybe they think that he could have information, another test, or another this is my own theory. I think they just think maybe he could testify that she said that to Patrick. Maybe he was in the room, or maybe she said it to him in confessional. You know what I mean? But that's not anyone's business what she says in confessional. That's between her and God. That's between her and that priest.
Well, and perhaps that's the angle, Shay, because if they, press and accuse him of, putting thoughts in her mind to ring Patrick and say this and that, and people know in the back of their mind, he has the right to not divulge the truth because it's between her and God. People, it just may plant a seed that he did it and he can't say that he didn't. And so, I think they're grasping at the straws at this stage, because I see no evidence being presented that she did do it.
No, I mean, I feel like it's so, the picture they're painting of her is so bad. I don't understand why the jury, or they're even streaming this, the things that they're asking the medical examiners. I mean, we don't need that information. We know they're gone. That's not what we're here. We're here to find the truth of what happened that night. We know that they had it was not a good way to go. I mean, no way is a good way to go for a child, but I just can't get over that it just seems so cruel in every aspect to everyone in that room to have to sit through that. But then again, I mean, that's part of the prosecution's manipulation to, prove that she was this criminal. They don't, they want her to go to prison. I feel like they're not showing her any
the coldness of yesterday's presentation, and really drumming down, were they trying to elicit a reaction from her as they discussed the baby's brain and spine being, removed intact, put in a bag and transported across the country, and then really drumming down on, the ruptured vessels in the eyes that were now separated from a perfect baby's head? What was the... I don't understand.
What's the relevance to this case? We don't need to know all those details. I mean, we could all sleep better at night without knowing the specifics of their once they were gone and what
And
happened
this
to
is
their
the
bodies. Like that's
stipulation. We
just
know they were throttled to the end of their life. We know that.
yes.
Why do we need all the details? It feels like cruelty. It
Cruel.
feels like coldness, like bullying, like ganging up on someone. And this someone, we don't even know if this was done to her or not. The whole purpose of what we're doing is to discuss whether we have all done, as a community at large, the right thing to ensure that the right person is held responsible. Because if this was done to her, imagine punishing her as well for the crime. For the rest of her life living, being accused of the children being gone because of an action she did, if in fact it was someone else, it would be reprehensible of every single person on the planet if we all went, yeah, put her away. And he's just living his life with her doppelganger and new babies and running and hiking because he's got legs. We need to make sure that the right person is held accountable for this crime.
It was never a fair because they never. I don't care if the husband tells you that's what happened. You investigate them. You look into the details. I mean, why was his hands and stuff not, you know? And I get maybe, you know, it's, I don't know. It's so difficult because like you want to believe, you want to believe that this person is being honest, but that's not your job to believe everything that comes out of a person's mouth as a police, as a detective. Like you are, that's your job to dig and find the truth, and they didn't do any digging other than and just off the evidence. Why are they just doing specific time frames? Why are they not going back further? Like, was she like, you know, would it, you know, even it, like they want to say that she planned this. Who's to say she didn't plan it before her first doctor's visit? You know what I mean? Like the first time she, you know, if that's what they're speculating, why are they not digging further back in her data? Like they started on what, August 23rd of 22 or something around that date, and then they pulled up until January. Like, if you, I don't know, been very specific. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, they've only looked for evidence that fits into that narrative, and if it doesn't, then it's not relevant when it really could be relevant. It's just not relevant to them. Like, and I think you guys said something about like Reddington. Why doesn't like do we think Lindsay how she feels about it? And I think Lindsay is in such like a unstable mental that if she were to be told that Patrick did it, I don't really know. I think she needs to also see the evidence. I mean, she's been the suspect, so she hasn't seen any of this. This is all brand new to her. This is probably her first time hearing most of this. So we're all experiencing all this together, and I feel like that's where like a lot of women are feeling like something just isn't adding up. And I feel like when a bunch of women feel that, like there's you know, we can't all just be imagining this. Like that's, you know, and I before, yeah. Yes. Yes, I'm listening. Yeah. And I think sometimes he makes it seem like he needs to step into their shoes and say, okay, Lindsay did this, you know, like he asked Patrick, well, she could have killed the kids then, right? And he was like, hypothetically or something like that. And so it's like he has to like put it in their mind, like Lindsay doing this, so then they can really like put themselves and be like, okay, they're saying Lindsay did this, but like we're doing, what is showing me that she did this? Like I'm seeing that she was a loving mother who was desperate for help and seeking help. Like
Again, let's play it again. Again, darling.
1 second. Bear with me. Hold on. I've closed the blooming YouTube page. Hold on.
Sorry, darling. I think it's important. I'm so glad you brought it up.
because either way, Reddington either needs it to be guilty by insanity. So if he can at least get that, then maybe more can come from it. Sorry.
He brought this charge that it was going to kill the soul of this young woman. And they would bring their evidence in front of a jury that she knows that she killed these children. We'll sit here and listen to their evidence, but I suggest to you that the...
Right, he's saying that's what the prosecution are going to bring as their evidence, that she killed those children.
And you know what their evidence is? Patrick's words.
Wording. But isn't it interesting wording? They're going to bring their evidence that she knows she killed these children. And I wonder if it's a part of the play or...
because he has to feed into that she was in psychosis. That's the insanity part of it.
But
so
everybody's saying that her defense is admitting that she did it.
Never once.
No,
I've never heard him admit it. He alludes
He's
to
literally
it.
saying the prosecution are going to try and prove to you that she
That
killed
she
those
does.
kids.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly what he's saying. But it doesn't really sound, completely clear.
No.
So I do see why the's confusion.
I do too, but you know what? If you're going to die on that hill, you better make damn sure you've gone back and listened to that bit at least as much as I have.
Yeah,
He literally says the prosecution are going to try to prove to you that she killed those kids. And people are saying what he actually said was is that he agrees that she killed those children, and that is not what he says.
Because he's proved to them that one, her admission is supposedly on theories. Like he has not come out and said if there was an actual phone call in that room. We have not heard from the doctor. That's all speculation that there was a phone call, and the only person that would know is there's a phone call would be Patrick and the doctor, and we haven't heard from that doctor. Reddington hasn't confirmed that was Reddington's doctor. If there was a phone call, Reddington would know about it, and unless that doctor turned on him, which I don't see that happening, Reddington has good people in his corner. He's not going to send someone in there he thinks is a snake.
No. But this is the thing. That was only a theory that the DA and the sheriffs were kicking around the office. There's no evidence. It's based on nothing but just an idea in their head.
Yeah. And that's why they're wanting to pull in the priest, and now they're going to pull in that they're accepting Dr. Z, whatever his name is, into their pulling him as
I think that's because
Reddington
Reddington has literally just pulled out their number one a way of accusing her of being manipulative and using the insanity plea.
Go listen to their opening statement, and they say that she's controlling. What's he done? He's proved that she is not controlling. And then what was it else that she was planning this? Huh?
But guess who is controlling?
Patrick.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And so everything that in their opening claim they gave to the jury, Reddington's almost put all that doubt that is any of that actually true now, because he's planted that these things are now based on theories, and he's gotten the witnesses to admit to that on the stand, alluding to it. I mean, and then the fact that they now know the DNA that they got off the bands was mostly Patrick, and he was the last one to touch them, of course. But even then, where if she was down there doing it for so long, then not a little bit of DNA is even on two of the other two. Like,
Yeah, look,
so
I'm going to
it's
play devil's advocate though, because the other thing that was very interesting about yesterday's testimony, sorry, I'm in Australia, so when I say yesterday, it might be very different for you guys, but the recent testimony is that if we've got the woman in CVS, the lady behind the counter, the one that works there, what are they called? Chemist, whomever, pharmacist. If she's received the phone call and she testified on stand, so this is in evidence, she testified that a woman called her and asked these questions at about 4:50 something. And if we're to assume that perhaps Patrick had already done her out the window prior to him leaving, but she's on the phone at 4:50, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And there's also evidence on stand that she also called, but I want to know, does anyone know if they had the people from the restaurant testify?
I want to see those
Yes.
call logs.
No, they talked about it today, and the 3V call, 40 seconds long. That's how long it took her to call and
No,
order
no,
food.
yeah, that's
40
between.
seconds. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm placed on hold for at least 5 minutes, and I mean, 40 seconds to order 2 bowls, get the total, put his name on it, put his phone number on it. Are you kidding me? 40 seconds? 40 seconds. That's not, it's not, that math is not mathing. So then I'm like, what? They've pulled these people on the stand. These are the prosecution's witnesses. Do you think they're not you think, I don't know. I'm just seeing so much like red flags, and then I'm like,
But the thing is, Shay,
I
yes,
don't know.
the lady in CVS can say, yes, a woman called, but she cannot definitively say who that woman was.
Yeah, they don't know for sure. And I
I
just
do
can't get
think
over
what
the
it
40
does is
second
poke.
order food. I can't get over it.
Yeah,
40
but
seconds.
I think it does poke a hole in the idea that Lindsay was chilling prior to him leaving, because one of the things we've talked about is how did her body temperature get that low, even with
I can't get over that.
the traumatic brain injury, even with the spinal cord injury, even with being out in the cold for a certain amount of time. And so we had speculated and theorized that perhaps the timeline was wrong and she was already out the window. But if we have people testifying that she rang CVS, that's in evidence now, and that's evidence is the only thing that jury can consider. That pretty much pokes a hole in that theory.
Did they say for sure that it was her, or that I thought they said they couldn't verify that it just sounded like a woman?
Well, it was a
female.
female, but I mean, you would assume if you're on jury, it's her. I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If I was only presented with this evidence and knew nothing else, I would have to go off the evidence. It is what we are legally bound to do.
But they're getting that. That's the same evidence we're getting. I mean, we've seen today on trial when the guy who pulled all the evidence off our phone that night, she called the rest. She actually called a number before it, and I put that into Google, and it looks like it used to be 3V's like old phone number, but it actually.
Oh wow.
Shay, just so you know, if you can still hear us, if you're teacupping, we can't hear you. So if you're looking at another website while you're on the live, we can't hear you. So if you do want to seek out information, just go have a look and come back and then tell us what you were looking at. Yeah, because sometimes I think people think that you can keep talking while you're on the live, but on other websites.
This is my first time up on a panel, so I had no idea. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh, bless. Yeah, no, I thought it's helpful.
It's nerve-wracking as well the first time you go up and you chat live.
Yeah, and but when the first phone number that they dialed, it was like only a couple seconds long, and then the second number, which I put that into it because she read the phone number out, the prosecution lady did, and then I just typed that into Google. The second one was for 3V, and that's when she said
And how long was that call? And he said 40, it was like 42 seconds or 43. It wasn't over a minute. So that's when I was like, you can order food. And then one thing that stuck out to me too, when he read their text messages that night, it kind of seemed like something might have been deleted, because she said, can we order food tonight, ... How about 3V, or however she said it. I just didn't get time to cook or don't feel like cooking. And he
Yeah.
said, that sounds fine or okay.
I think
or
he said
yeah.
okie dokie. Yeah, he said okie dokie, which all
Okay.
sounds,
But
pretty
then
easy.
she says, look at the menu. And then that's when her phone Googles the menu. But I'm wondering, did he Google the menu too? Like, we need to know that.
That's a
And
really
then-
important point.
And then she texts him Mediterranean bowl, and then he texts back, sounds good. Whatever he ordered, the scampi, whatever bowl, power protein bowl, and then I can't remember what she responds. But who is she call? No one said who was calling in that text. So she
Someone
texted
testified on stand that
that
they
it was
got
a
a call
female
from
Okay,
a female.
Yes, but why is
From
she
her phone.
texting him what she wants, and then he returns a text back with what he wants? Like, that also threw me off, because I'm like, why is she gonna text him what she wants, and then they're in the same
And then
house,
she's
from
making the
what we
call
know.
to order.
And
Yeah,
she's making
interesting.
the call to order. I was like, what? And if I'm seeing that, and I'm just sitting here watching I watched it live. I didn't come on and see anyone else talking about this. I've been waiting for you guys to get on.
No, it's a
so I
really
could
great
come
point,
in.
Shay.
And I'm like, that's just odd to me, because me and my husband, I mean, I'll text him, hey, you want to pick up dinner on your way home from work? And I'll be like, he'll be like, yeah. And I'll be like, I'll call, what do you want? I don't text him what I want too. Like, I just, unless he's ordering
It's like
it.
somebody's setting up an alibi, isn't it?
I mean,
Looks a little framed.
I can't. I'm like, I can't stop seeing the red flags, because they're just right in our
And they
freaking
cannot-
face.
At the pharmacy, they cannot, in all conscience, say, Lindsay phoned us.
Yes.
All they can say is a woman phoned us.
Yeah.
Her phone number. So again, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Oh,
it
was
was
it?
her phone
Was it?
number. Yeah. So that phone
Yeah.
number is on
It came from
record.
her phone.
That went to stand. Came from her phone, and it was a woman's voice
But then
who
scammers-
asked the question. But you know what
scammers
doesn't
can
make
steal the
sense,
number.
Katie? I'll
What's
tell you
that?
what doesn't make sense is, why did she ring to confirm they had the name brand, and then he got there and rang to say they didn't have the name brand, but he came home with the name brand. So that also makes no sense.
Almost
And the
like
Skittles,
someone's
he
setting
got
up an
Skittles,
alibi.
and if you look in the evidence photos, the Skittles you don't see them in the bag, which I mean they could be under the box of Pedialyte or whatever, but
Well, he might be eating them in the car.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I
he
also
could have
find
opened
it
it and
odd that
munched
he
them.
bought Skittles, but he didn't buy anything for his wife or kids. I don't know.
I know,
That also
right?
stood out to me. Like you got Skittles for yourself, but you didn't get anything for your depressed wife or your babies at home. A little snack. Your daughter's
and
sick.
as much as
like
I would like to
just-
think a man would be that thoughtful,
Yes,
I don't think.
I don't think.
I don't
he-
think that suggests too much. Unfortunately,
And
I just
I
think
think
that's
that
him being
also
No,
thoughtless.
but,
suggests
you
to me
know.
that Patrick is inherently selfish.
fish.
It does. It does.
And him on the stand, I don't know. He just gave me vibes that he was irritated to be there. Like he did not. He didn't.
I mean, how
which
often
I mean,
have
I
you
understand.
gone into a shop and not picked up a little something for your children? I don't think I ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see where that's
Especially
just
if you're
like
at the
running with
city
theory,
centre.
but that's just my observation, it's not anything proof of anything,
That's why he gave it Terry.
But I just can't help but to make these observations, and I just hope that the jury can also see these inconsistencies and these red flags that the prosecution has done to cover their butt, because if you from the get-go they took Patrick's word, and when is that a real ethical investigation. You're going to take this
Yeah.
man's word that he's the only uninjured one. Like, when is that
Lady.
okay? Like, I don't care. You dig. If he's innocent, then you can say you did the work to prove that he was innocent. We wouldn't have to be here
I don't think
with
it's his brother, Mia. I think it was an uncle, and he isn't
yeah.
anymore.
I
But
don't
you know
know if
what? Networking.
family matters on that. I think it's just the corruptness that is already established into the, I mean, if that neighbor didn't have video of Chris Watts, where would we be with that? Like, what if that, would they have just taken his word? Like, I mean, that's kind of bold to make that
Hey,
comparison. It's a
ladies,
totally
I
different
just want to
situation, but
I just
I
want to
don't know.
really quick let you
But
guys know, Jen is still on the live. She'll just kind of be in and out. She is at a medical facility, so she'll be popping in and out so that the live doesn't end. But she is almost done doing what she's doing, so I'm just letting you guys know.
Okay, thanks, Sherry.
Thanks, Joe.
Where's Yasmin? Hope she's okay. Did you see Yasmin's video?
No, is she okay?
Oh, she didn't sound okay. She sounded really angry. I just wanted to give her a hug and a cup of tea.
Oh no, does anybody have her where we can share the live with her?
She's on my friends list. Let me try and.
She upset about the trial and the
Yes.
yeah.
We just need to make sure that everybody did hear the disclaimer that Jen read, and that disclaimer will be read before every live. So just please keep that in mind.
I've just shared the live with her, so hopefully, I just hope she's okay, because obviously a lot of stuff in this is, I think she's gone through something quite recently, and I think it's triggering.
Look, it's a distressing case, and at the end of the day, what I hope is that everyone remains open-minded. We haven't even heard defence's evidence yet, but we're certainly we certainly have to be mindful of our own mental health. A lot of women are incredibly passionate. We're seeing a lot of flare-ups and fire-ups in chats, and people are angry, and there's a lot of like, what's wrong with you?
Over this past week have
I
been
feel like
absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. I just don't read the negativity. I just try to ignore that part, and I don't let it really. I lost my mom at a young age, and my dad went through a lot and was in an abusive relationship, and so I feel like I had to mature at a young age because I seen all of this in front of me, the domestic violence, and I just knew from a young age that I just didn't want to be involved in that. I never wanted to put myself in that situation, and I feel like that made me be very open-minded to other people's situations, and I
think that's a beautiful point, Shay. Twig down in the comments has just said, it's really affected her mental health. And I wanted to just
it does.
speak to you, Twig, because I think what's really important, we've seen some really uncomfortable things over the last couple of weeks. And one of those was Perez Hilton and what some people had to see in a live. Unfortunately, I had stumbled across it right at the beginning. And one thing that's really important to remember when you're following cases or when you're seeing people go through their worst days, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again, it's really important to remember that we all have our seasons of difficulty in our lives, but this is not our season. This, sadly, is this family's season. We are observers, and we can be here observing their season, but you must bring yourself back in a mindful way to your own personal season. Look out your window, think about your own family, have a look at the stability that's around you, your food on the plate every night, the people around you that you love.
And I know it's
Be very mindful to go, but I'm here,
Yes.
and this is not my season. I'm observing someone else's season. This is not my story. This is someone else's story. So you must take care of yourselves as you watch this. We're here doing due diligence to ensure that justice is sought, and we're crossing all our I's and dotting all our T's. And I think if you're not exploring all the possibilities to ensure that the right person is put in the right place for a crime like this, morally and ethically, you may find your compass is askew. And so I can see why people who are out here justice seeking and truth telling, but make sure you remember this is not your story. This story belongs to someone else, and we are observers of this story. and we must be mindful that we are safe and we're okay to observe. And if we're not okay to observe and we're finding it distressing, it's so important to get sunlight, to get exercise, and to make sure you have conversations about other things.
Yes, that's very important. And I feel
And if
like
do
you said,
need
you
to
can
reach out to
observe.
any of us, Twig, please do. And the same goes for you, Hayley, because do you know what? We're I think, older than you, most of the ladies on this panel. And do you know what? I had a dream about my ex-husband for the first time in I don't know how long yesterday. So if you're very close to what happened in this case, if it's very recent for you, then it's going to loom even larger in your window of vision, isn't it?
This is
And
true.
that
And you know, Katie, we've all had, I think most people have a story. Most people have things that they could come to a panel and make other people gasp when they discuss them. And that's your story. And you've had enough in your own life to not also carry the burden of other people's stories. So when I see people saying it's very hard to look away, but I'm finding it very hard to watch,
we
And I
all
always
have
think it's
that.
not
of
my
that.
weight to carry, and I can observe it and I can feel for it, and I can, I can open my mind to it, and I can take in, the situation, and I can make my own observations, but it's not my place to say whether that is a true. I don't really know how to word that, but like I feel like shit, I don't even know, but I feel like I don't know, I always just feel like I can place myself in their shoes, but I also know when it's appropriate to take myself out of it when I feel overwhelmed, and I can separate myself from it but still not be blind to it.
Someone said something to me years ago,
I know.
and it was, you carrying a lot of awful, heavy baggage, but it's up to you when you put it down.
Yeah. And it's up to you how you use it and how you let it build you, and you can use that as a mental tool to like
wow,
either
Sherry.
you can I don't know. I know it's hard and everyone is different, but there are different methods to where you can, you have it strengthen you, and you don't have to have it be so negative. And I know, I lost my mom when I was 16. I'm about to be 25. So and
that's still
and
very
so
recent for
I
you.
didn't get all those, and I actually really lost her when I was 8 because she got incarcerated. So those 8 to 16, I barely knew her, and then she got out and had cancer and
I think you've got
passed.
you've got some new mummies now.
Yeah, I've never really had a mother figure, since I was 8 years old. So I feel like I've always kind of had to just learn on my own and develop my own,
you've obviously had to mature
compass.
extremely quickly. And there are so many things, that a daughter
I still have so much to learn too.
probably only talk to her mum about. I mean, I don't know your personal situation if you had aunts or whatever, but there is becoming a woman is so damn complicated, even if you've got your mum there,
Yeah.
let alone not having your mum there. So I'm sorry, sweetheart, and if I could send you a hug,
It's okay.
As a mum myself, my heart breaks. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and her best friend also lost her mum. And the very first time I met this new friend, it was the very first time. My daughter wasn't friends with her yet, but I'd gone to observe one of my daughter's plays, and I was very involved in taking photos, and I was so excited to be there. And this darling girl who was 14, way taller than me, she kind of came up to me, and the first thing she said to me was, Dash is so lucky that you're here. I don't have a mother in my life. I lost my mum. And it was such a profound statement. And I said, well, I want to take photos of you, and can I have your email address or your dad's? I'll send them off to your dad. And and now we're all very good friends, and I know her dad really well. And when she comes to my house, I make sure I lay it on. But I know there's no one to replace your mum, Shay. And I can't imagine the heartbreak of trying to grow up and develop a moral compass and an ethical compass on your very own. And I hope you've got people around you. Have you got people around you that can can love on you and support you, because you always need your mum. I'm 54 and I still need my mum sometimes. And I'm
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy, I don't want to but it was kind of a crazy situation. My mom kind of got framed and got incarcerated, and she only got let out because she was, on terminally ill. She had stage 4 breast cancer that turned terminal, went to her brain and her lungs, and when she, went into a coma. And so and it was a drawn out. I mean, it was like a 3 year that after she got out, that after she passed. So, and, and my dad had very bad feelings towards her at that time when she did get incarcerated. So he separated me from my grandparents on that side, and I didn't see them until she got out. So it was just a lot that when I got older and I realized what was happening, he wasn't sending my my letters to her, and it was so
it's almost there really isn't any words for it, my darling.
no,
I can
it really
imagine.
isn't. But
No,
I feel like
how can you explain that to
it
anyone?
breaks
How that
my
would make you
heart, but
feel?
at the same time, I just know I'm stronger than that, and I can, it is bad. I mean, I felt like I was robbed of that time that I could have been at least communicating by letters, and
Yeah.
and that really does bother me, and I do have some disdain towards my dad, but I still communicate with him. But I feel like my rock is my husband. I mean, I feel like I got so lucky. I know this trial, is, and everyone thinks we're men haters, but I don't know what I would do without him. He's my best friend. He treats me amazing. He does everything he can every day to make me happy and make sure I'm taken care of and have everything I need. And
Yeah, bless.
I don't know what I would do without him. And now I do have a relationship with my mom's grandparents more than I do with my dad's family, because I got into a bit of trouble in high school, and I got expelled from school for smoking marijuana in the parking lot. Trauma. Just I was going through a lot. It's just a
If
hard
that was
time,
if that was if that was your rebellion, God love you.
yeah, I mean, I
Giving
haven't
you a
done.
cuddle.
That's the worst thing I've done in my life. I mean,
Yeah, you having a little cigarette while you're grieving profoundly.
yeah.
In the parking
but
lot
my
as just a little girl, I can
but
understand all of those things.
my grandmother, my dad's mom, started a group chat that I was the black sheep, that I was gonna start online school, and I was gonna lose every discipline, and just a very close-minded about, it was 2018, whatever, 2019, and I'm like,
Not very long ago.
we're not in that century that my grandmother thinks that we were still in, and that's no shade and no bashing that, but she was so close-minded about that and thought I was just an abomination to the family because I was doing online school. And I mean, I graduated early. I got, I was a good student, and so
in spite of all this injustice, Shay, you still walked your path and proved yourself. I think what's interesting about what you're highlighting, Shay, is that you've been drawn into this case because it appears that you're also the victim of patriarchy from your dad's line. And we all, I think, are identifying with Lindsay in terms of we've all fallen prey at some point to the patriarchy, to some kind of oppression, manipulation, some kind of event in our lives that has taken our choice and free will from us. And we can't imagine that if this were a case where that's actually happened to Lindsay, that if it were us, we would hope someone would be willing to hear our side and make sure that we were safe. I think it's what's drawn us all in.
That's all we can hope, is that, someone out there would see that something just doesn't seem right, and all we want is them to look further into it. It's not saying that he did it, but I'm not saying that you ever looked into that being a possibility.
I know.
And
I know I keep saying it, but it's like they rocked
did a
up to
very
the house. He said, she confessed to me that she did it. And they went, okay, dude.
And all he had to
And
do
that
was say he
gave
was at
birth.
CVS and 3V, like,
I mean,
and
someone's
that was
saying
it.
it's
They
his
checked the
best friend
cams,
on one
like,
of those videos, either the restaurant or CVS. And I don't know if that's true, but I mean, they've also tried to say that the shoes aren't different. Well, they are, because one are boots and one are training shoes.
Yeah, we can see that. We're not blind. We're not dumb.
One jacket is just a hoodie with a quarter zip, and the other one is an actual jacket with a full length zip. So,
yeah.
And I feel like
The
this is
hair's
all
different.
like kind of an awakening with everything going on in the world. Like, we're seeing all this injustice and the cries for help, like, and that I feel like we're not being heard. Our government, our medical system, everything is just about them. Like, who can we feed the most
And the way
money
these
to?
doctors
Like,
are closing
what
ranks
about
as well.
what about the people who keep your country running? Like, why are we not taken seriously? Like, that's what hurts the most. Like, you know, I've never had any unjust by the law or whatever, you know, so I can't, but still, just from just seeing it, like, I'm not blind to it. I can see it. I hear it every day. Like, I work for the VA. I speak to veterans every day on the phone, and
Thank you for that.
and I'm like,
Thank
I
you, because
don't
I'm a
understand.
veteran too, so thank you.
I'm like, I don't understand why you say you're calling your provider and your provider is telling you to call me for something I can't do for you. Like, why are they telling you they can't do this? And then I go get them on the phone and I'm like, why are you telling this veteran you can't do this for them? And they're like, oh, I'll get it taken care of. And I'm like, it took me having to tell you that this is what you need to do, and that's not my job. Like, why?
So frustrating, isn't
It's
it?
so frustrating, and these
like they just
veterans are
don't want
waiting
to
on
do their
appointments
jobs.
for months, and it's like they're having to go to the ER every day for a problem and their doctor is on vacation somewhere. I don't know. They don't answer the phone, so it's just like.
So what I think is really important is that I was actually going to ask Lynn, do you have any backdrop photos to sort of suggest what we're talking about?
I did. I had one up. I can do it.
I think we should have a backdrop photo up somewhere, just to make sure that obviously there's lots of topics that can be discussed, but it'd be good to keep drawing it back to the case itself. No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm really sorry, everybody, tonight that I haven't been very present on the live, but I am on an overnight shift, a hospice shift, and like I've said, I own a home health care agency, and at the end of life, I'm always here at the very last part of it. So I've been very busy today, and I apologize that I haven't been very
not at all.
engaged.
Thank you for opening your panel for us. You know.
Oh, of course. I love having all of you up.
We love to hear you too, but we understand.
Thank you for holding down the panel tonight, all of you ladies, because I mean, you know, it's just thank you. We couldn't do this, you know. It takes a village, so I appreciate all of you.
Where did Jerky go?
Who?
Don't tell me I played the YouTube clip of what was actually said and he just went.
Oh no, another one?
Yeah, I think most of the time they're going to be agitators if the conversation is very much leaning towards a strong bunch of evidence for Lindsay.
I mean, I was a bit like that at the beginning. I wasn't so unsympathetic and calling her a POS and all that sort of thing. But I did think, you know, at first, oh, this is such a tragedy because she on a lot, you know. But honestly, it's just so many holes in this evidence. It is literally Swiss cheese at this point.
Yeah.
I think what's really become clear to me is that we can't really believe. We know that there's no confession outside of what Patrick has said. Everyone keeps talking about this civil case, and everyone keeps talking about, you know, she confessed and the confessions are in the civil case. But the only thing, even within the civil case, that suggests she did it. Guys, can we tap the live? We've only got 7,500, and we really should be at 100,000 at this point. So just please triple tap the live because it's going to bring people in.
Yeah, if everybody could share and tap, that would be great. I would really appreciate it because
we earlier on, she's pretty much the same sort of chat room as us. Maybe not quite as I don't want to say educated as us because that sounds vain and horrible, but yeah. But she's saying, hey, I need a galaxy. I really need somebody to send me a galaxy. And Jen, I just want to thank you because you're not like that at all.
I don't allow gifts for myself. I never have. Send them to the panel, but never send them to me. And if you do, they're just going to go for something at Christmas for people
I
in
just
need.
thought
So
to myself,
give them to the
blimey,
girls.
you
Yeah.
don't want much, do you, love, with a galaxy or an
But I
intergalactic
think
or something?
it's so important in order to keep the live getting spread and shared when people are scrolling through lives, to
Yeah.
make sure that
Oh,
we're
yeah,
tapping
sharing.
so that we can reach other people, not just sharing but tapping, because when
And
your numbers
tapping.
go up and you're considered a popular live, then TikTok pushes you out to the audience. And so it's
Yeah.
nice to make sure that we get people in and we can actually talk about the case in its entirety.
Absolutely.
Um,
And
so
it might be, again, because I haven't been very engaged tonight either. And I really do apologize to all the ladies on the panel. I'm sorry for that. I haven't been here helping.
Priority is your patients. That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to
And
everybody
thank you
who's
for
sharing.
making your patients your priority, because you're not focused on what you got going on over here. You're making sure your patient is taken care of, and that's important. The most important.
Thank you. I just got here, so I won't be able to. I can stay on as long as I don't have to engage too much. And I want to keep the panel open because there's so much to talk about. So if everybody in the chat could share and tap so we can get more. Last night we had like 500 and something people, and so it was really nice. But I'm happy if we've got 5 great people in, or 500.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we could get more people in, that would be great. And it's now 8 o'clock here, so we've got a little while longer.
Cherry also made some pretty amazing backdrops, which were hilarious. The photos were great, Cherry. Was it you, Cherry, that you did
Text
those?
them to me and I'll put them up. I only
They're
have
really
this one
funny.
and the other one.
Oh, were they the ones that had me and you on there, Shane?
Yeah, yeah. It made me laugh so much. I was like, "Who is that? Oh wait, it's meant to be me."
Oh, the one with
we
all
look like a bunch of
pictures.
body
Yeah, that was
bodies.
cute.
Yeah.
I can put that
But
one
it's
up, I
also
think.
kind of nice that it's advertised what we're discussing. And we were saying, it would be nice to have other nights where we chat about things that are more personal, and we hold space for everyone to share their stories.
I'm just watching.
There we are. Look at us,
Gymnastics.
smoking hot. I've got brunette hair
That's
there.
hilarious.
Great, I love it. Yeah.
They look like Charlie's Angels.
No, really.
Okay.
So let's have a look in the chat and see if people have things they want to discuss.
I thought Jen had put a filter on that she was a pink alien for a second.
Okay.
Diane
Cherry, do you want to
Kane
send me a different one?
showed Redhead Babe that it looks like Patrick goes on Lindsay's phone an awful lot and does searches for things that she would never need to search for.
I just think it's odd. Why is he logging into her Facebook to do searches that would make it look like she wants to unalive herself? I mean, that's literally what we're seeing. is that
Where is the carotid artery? Hello, she's an RN.
Yeah, but why would he? I mean, that's so premeditated, and it's so suggestive of what's happened in the end. It's suggestive that he's wanting to make it look like she's the one who's done these things, but he's the
Almost
one
like
logging
he's
into
setting
her
her up.
account. I mean, it's pretty horrifying.
But then
don't
I
you think?
said earlier on, my love, I don't know if you were in here, Shane, but I know that when my husband was doing nefarious nonsense, the projection that I got from him was unreal. Who were you with? Who was there? Who did you talk to? Why did you talk to him? You know?
Mhm.
And it wouldn't surprise me that someone who is midst dalliances with another woman wouldn't be absolutely surveilling her.
Yeah, I agree.
Projection.
I think what we're going to see is
Objection.
I think what I think what we're going to see is
Overruled.
when defense comes back, he's going to come in absolutely swinging with a sheath. He's
Yeah.
going to cut them down so fast and so hard, mercilessly, because he was so raging during the autopsy evidence. He threw his stuff across the table. I mean, did you see he went sheet white as well? He lost all the color drained from his face. Apart from his shaving mark down by the side of his sideburns, his face was pasty white, looked like he was going to be sick. And I've got to say, I felt sick listening to what she had to listen to. And though, and also, did you see prosecution when they had to go to pause? Did you see prosecution standing up and she glanced over and scanned the witness stand? Now, what I heard about the witness stand from people that were in the room was that everyone was crying on the witness stand. Just so you know, you have turned off the comments. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You're all over it, girlfriend. So everyone in the
Perfect.
jury, every jury member was crying, and there apparently is one woman who's very, she's absolutely resting bitch face. They've said that she doesn't write notes, she has no expression, she doesn't look sad, she doesn't look shocked, she just sits there and looks angry most of the time. But she was crying during that evidence as Lindsay lay there sobbing a guttural cry that, as a mother who lived on a pediatric cancer ward, at night, often the babies would pass at night for whatever reason, that would be it. And at night, we would hear from the hallways the howl of a mother.
I remember my mum, and I mean, that was Christmas of 1995. And I remember that like it's burned into my brain.
Well,
My
the
mum making
sound
that
of a mother, but the sound of a mother whose baby has died was what we heard.
Yeah.
It's a deep guttural, and the inhales
Pure anguish.
that she was doing were that's what I used to hear.
She
echo
couldn't
through.
breathe.
No, she couldn't. She was in a state of utter distress. And it's the only time I hear that, I've heard that cry, is when I lay there at night praying that that would not be my fate. And it would echo from the rooms through the ventilation system, or you would hear it in the hallway. And we all just sat you could hear a pin drop except for the howling of this mother, and we all just honored her howling. I sat there. The reason I felt so nauseous was that howling that we heard from her is the howling of a bereft, shattered mother. Times 3, I cannot fathom what those two women put her through by describing what they did with the autopsy. It was repugnant, it was reprehensible, and I hope that that the defense comes out and is merciless with his evidence moving forward. I was enraged at how repugnant I found it.
I would agree completely. That was so hard. I don't think I couldn't even finish that yesterday. I couldn't finish it when, especially the prosecution just kept asking the same questions, and you can hear her just breaking and going, she's already not in a stable mental state right now. That she has 24-hour watch. Like, why are we
Who would? We lost their babies and whose husband replaced them and who can never walk again. Just one child, just one paralysis incident, just one divorce. She is dealing with every single thing in her life has been shattered to unrecognizable. You can't even pick up the pieces and try and rebuild. A devastation. How they put her through it is beyond
And for him to move on so quickly and have, well, almost 2 children with somebody who is a clone of Lindsay, I think that is the sickest part of all.
wild. And one thing I keep coming back
in the
to,
case. Go, Shay.
one thing I keep coming back to is, okay, this is, we're at the 3-year mark. If she had said that she did this, I mean, I know it's still heartbreaking, but she had that time to convince herself. So I feel like she has reasonable doubt herself that I think she's seeing it as
Of course,
well.
she has
So I
no
think
memory. She has no memory, so
Yeah, but I mean, but
she's
still,
piecing it
if
together
she's
too.
been told she did this, after so long, I mean, she starts to, theorize in her own mind that maybe I
Do
did do
start
this,
believing
and
it. I mean, brainwashing is a thing. It's
yes,
a real bloody thing.
I mean, my ex, I mean, we were together for like 2 years, and it was the most horrible time in my life, and I didn't even know it until I got out of it, and I was like, holy
can you
shit, what was I
imagine?
doing? Like, what?
Yeah, and she literally is in a wheelchair under supervision. She can't get away. But imagine she was in a state of ICU delirium, and she's wakes up to find out her babies are all gone, her husband has left her, she's paralyzed, and she doesn't have any recollection of any of
People are
it. And
telling
she's
you
like,
that
"What happened?"
You've done it. Yeah. But I feel like at that point, where I'm getting at is like, I mean, I'm not saying that she would do this, but I mean, would she not kind of like be prepared that they're going, that she did this? I mean, obviously the reaction we're getting is giving us that she didn't do this. She's finding out, like, this is her first time living through that night, from a different perspective, I guess, than what she's been fed. You know what I mean? Like, the facts are being laid out in front of her, and I think she's smart. I would say she's very smart. And
to dump all this on her head at once would be difficult.
Yeah, I think having to convince herself that she did it again for the second time, if she's already tried it once.
I hope there's not a mistrial, because I hope that God she doesn't go through this again.
No, I don't think we could.
What would be the grounds for a mistrial at this stage, Katie? What would you think?
Well, no, I'm just going
Would
on
we
what.
get one?
Well, basically, with how absolutely woefully inept the prosecution is, and I can see the judges getting annoyed with the bowheads.
You would think, Bowheads got up and said that the internet, TikTok
Did you guys
was
say
out.
bowheads? I just heard that from across the room.
What did
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, where's Adam?
How
I
did
think
they?
Adam's got the knock. In other words,
How
he's
did-
annoyed.
How
He's
did
left our
they?
group.
How did they describe TikTok's overall discourse about the case? Did they say it was an abomination? You would think that if they saw how,
in other words, oh
repulsive we
shit, they're onto
find-
us.
Well, if they saw how repulsive we found the bow, why is she still wearing the damn bow? Can't she see everyone hates the damn bow?
Because she's heartless. She literally is heartless, and that prosecution just gets me so mad. Like,
Somebody said the other day, they're not even like the mean girls at high school. They're like the little satellites that are orbiting the mean girls, trying to be taken into the mean girl group. And I think that is such a good description. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful women.
I mean, they're not
wanted to know-
showing any empathy. I just don't know how the judge is letting this go on either. I feel like this is so inhumane. Like, I don't see where the relevance that we need to know all these specific details
But
about.
jury's
That was to
seeing
torture
that.
her. That was purely
Jury's
to
seeing
torture
that,
her.
especially. I wanted to ask girls, do you know
Yes.
if jury was jury present when Reddington said, "I don't want to go to sidebar"? I heard on Hot Mic that
Yeah.
they said shut her up while the
I think he deliberately said, "I don't want to go to sidebar."
Excellent.
I'm just going to say
Yes.
it. So
Excellent.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I agree.
I hope
Hayley.
so too, because if you don't have your own ability to form your own opinions and you can't see what they're doing, that the evidence should speak for itself. They don't need to play hideous, cruel games
It was
to
the
elicit, like,
look when Reddington was saying what she said, shut her up. The look on lead Bowhead's face towards the other one, like, what? She didn't say that.
I've also heard that the civil suit isn't holding any evidence in this trial. It doesn't change anything in this trial.
The whole premise of that civil suit can be changed at any time.
Anytime.
It
Yeah, so it
doesn't have to stand as it stands now. If more information comes to light, which it is doing, that civil case can be changed.
he could
Yeah.
lose the right to even
That's
sue
why you
if they
can
find her
amend
not
it.
guilty. He wouldn't be able to have a civil suit because it would have been if they
It's
find out it's
proven to be a
him,
lie.
like
Yeah, it's all a lie.
I mean, he's the only
Yeah.
one that's profited from this. So
Yes, so far.
But I do think that everyone who is pro Patrick and has just, without even hearing the defense's case, has just thrown the book at her and is willing to wheel her away and lock her away forever. They are relying very heavily on the civil suit, which is entirely DA driven, which is totally believing that Patrick's account of things is truth. But until it's proven to be the case, everything in the civil suit is just hearsay in terms of Patrick's statements because no one else was witness to Patrick
and
receiving
that
this
again,
information
you
from
know,
her.
it all comes down to what Patrick said. Patrick said
Yes.
she confessed. Patrick said she did it. Patrick said they're in the basement. Patrick said she tried to unalive herself. Patrick said. Yet how many times have we all heard objection, hearsay?
Yeah. Hang on, Alicia, do you want to pop up? Because you sounds like you understand some of this. This would be great to hear some of what you're saying because this is all really relevant. Haley, feel free to pop up too, darling. Come on up and have a chat. Because
I don't know
Alicia's
if
got.
Terry
I've
or
even tried to put myself in Lindsay's shoes too, because I'm a very I like to get every perspective, and I haven't brought it up yet because it is. I feel like it's kind of if she did do this, I think maybe because she had such a small limited time that could explain the overkill that we're seeing, but it still just doesn't make sense. It's just not adding up. Like it just doesn't. That's just not what clicks to me. It feels wrong to even say that. Like
and I mean, I came into this thinking, you know, she did it, how awful, blah, blah, blah. And the only
yes.
reason why I've put Patrick in the frame now is because of Patrick.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, every time he sort of testified to one thing, it was countered and it proved that he was dishonest.
Dishonest. And even if you go read the warrant, the very first couple paragraphs, it says Patrick went to 3V then CVS, and that is his first testimony, and then or his first encounter with the police, and he tells them he went to 3V then CVS. And the one thing I get is they say the testimony 2 days ago now, police said, she said, the prosecutor asked, did you guys, during that search warrant, did you search the vehicles? And he said yes. But yet, day one, Patrick said that he's had the prescriptions in his truck for a while now, meaning to go drop them off. But yet this police is testifying on the stand. They searched the vehicles and nothing was, or at least they didn't ask him if anything was found. So that's kind of And then in the search warrant, nowhere in the search warrant does it say anything about vehicles. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's true. I
what is
agree.
happening with that part? Like the police,
Yeah.
I can't believe you searched that vehicle. Patrick said the pills have been in there for a long time, and the warrant
Yeah.
says nothing about vehicles being searched. So I just can't.
Yeah. Twig,
Math is not
welcome up
mathing.
to panel, Twig.
Hi.
It's lovely to have you. Would you like to have a chat? We'll all mute out, and would you like to add your expertise or your thoughts?
I feel like the evidence really does not show that Lindsay's guilty. Like they have definitely proved reasonable doubt by far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anything specifically that you've noticed that you feel uncomfortable with regarding Patrick's testimony, or have you got any questions about what evidence is in play? Because we were just saying, Shay was just saying, they don't think that the vehicles were actually looked at, but yeah.
Oh,
So
I
Redhead
definitely
said
had
the
a
vehicles.
question on the drawers because Lindsay's lawyer, the defense, came and found the Apple Watch and the medications in that drawer, but if they did a search warrant, wouldn't they have searched the drawer and found those?
Yes.
So they wasn't
And
in there when
no,
it
that's
was
right.
searched. Okay.
Yeah. So that's another query. You know, if we see him walking in with an Apple Watch, with a tiny wristband that doesn't fit on his own wrist probably, because it's so small I doubt it would fit on him. So it's hers, most likely, but this is again only ideas. If it's on his finger and then the next day it shows up in the drawer after the search is finished, when he didn't think anyone else was going to search, I don't think he was expecting her defense lawyer to come through and do a quick search and discover it. It stands to reason that he could have put it in the drawer from the car after.
Right. In the evidence photos, do we know which nightstand is hers? Do we know if it's the one with the knife or the one with the baby cams? Because the one with the knife, if you look at the photo, if the drawer is kind of stuck out, and why does it look like it's the wristband of an Apple Watch sticking out? Like that, I caught that, and I'm like, what? In the evidence
Well, that's
photo,
interesting.
look at the evidence photo and tell me that doesn't look like the width of an Apple Watch wristband, just kind of tucked, sticking out, just barely.
I'll have a look. I won't be able to do it off panel, but definitely I'll have a look and see, because there was two side drawers. There was one that was behind the bed under the window that she went out of, and I believe that's not the drawer with the blade on it, or was it?
Oh, I forgot TikTok words. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
do this.
I'm just trying to navigate it too.
Yeah,
Does
I'm trying to
anybody
learn. I
know
don't know. I can't.
which side table had the blade on it? Hang on.
It's the one behind the bed. Like the other one has the baby monitors on it. The one with the
The one that was
poker.
by the window, or the one that was not under the window?
The one that's under the window with all the red stains is where the
Right. So,
Apple Watch band looks like it could be sticking out of that drawer.
and that was the same one that had the blade on the top?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No, I didn't, because the Apple Watch was in the nightstand, wasn't it? Yes, it was redhead.
Yes.
So I think that's the interesting thing. If that's the Apple Watch, then that kind of poo-poos the idea that he put it in there after.
He
And
still
they
could
just
have. He could have came home and
well,
stuck it, but
it's
then
he couldn't have.
the blood.
But he couldn't have, because if during the search you're
Yeah.
seeing the band, it was always there.
Mm.
And that suggests that he said he only went in the room 2 steps. Therefore, he couldn't have gone into the room
Right.
and gone over, especially with socks on, and not splashed blood or stepped in blood and left smears, and then put the watch in the nightstand. That seems a bit far-fetched to me. So that would sort of poo-poo the idea that the watch was not always there. So that's a really important thing for us to look at. If you think the watch was already there at the time that the crime scene photos were taken and evidence was being gathered, then that sort of makes us wonder, what was the
Yeah,
Apple
it is
Watch
a
he was
dark
holding?
strap, Alicia. It is a little dark strap, but if you go and look at the band when he threw the Apple Watch, it almost looks like it's kind of like a pinkish hue band, and it
Hers
kind
is a
of
dusky pink.
kind of dusty pink. So I don't know what that could be. I mean, shit, it could be anything sticking out of there. But I just kind of, when I looked at it, I was like, kind of looks like the width of a Apple Watch band, kind of poking out. Right
Interesting.
there.
Haley's saying that there are shoe prints on the carpet in the room, but he had said he'd taken his shoes off. But did she go out the window? No, she had socks on only as well, right?
Yeah, only socks.
So where are the shoe prints coming from?
I've looked
Because
at those
he didn't have
photos and I
shoes and she
can
didn't have
kind of
shoes.
see it, but then at the same time, I'm like, I feel like that's kind of reaching. I'm not licensed to be able to examine that, but to me, I don't really see it. But then at times, I'm like, it looks
The
like it
thing
could be a little
is,
something, but I feel like I'm reaching at that point to see
this
it. I know, and I don't want to do
investigation
that.
looks so clumsy to me.
So
It would not
clumsy.
surprise me if one of those officers didn't walk through some blood
Mm-hmm.
and then traipse it through, because honestly, it's given. I don't know if you've all heard of the Maddie case, who went missing in Portugal. How they literally had people tramping all over that crime scene for days. Honestly, that investigation, I can't even really warrant it with the name investigation, because it wasn't one. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if those shoe prints hadn't come from one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this just proves just bad investigate. I mean, they just handled it so poorly. I just can't believe they took his word and didn't investigate him. I mean, if they at least investigated him thoroughly, I feel like we wouldn't be. But we also don't really know because they're not trying to say he did. So if they did investigate him and they found stuff, well, they're not going to try to.
They investigated him apparently for 24 hours.
That's kind of what I took from it because she became. I mean, it happened at 6 p.m. or whatever time they got the call, and by 4 o'clock in the morning on the 22 o'clock in the morning, I think they were in the house with a warrant. So
Hi, Nicole and Opal up onto the panel.
Hi, it's my first time on a live. So
Do you welcome up? Welcome.
thank
Do you
you.
guys
Welcome,
think
welcome.
that they investigated him and they know they're dealing with a narcissist, so they're keeping it hush hush until they can build a solid case and then they'll go
I
arrest
would
him?
love to
letting him
say
throw
yes.
his cards around, see how he moves during this time. I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like they're
Wouldn't surprise
definitely
me.
very careful with their approach.
I mean, if this was Cagney and Lacey, or if this was, I don't know, what some other big courtroom dramas,
You
or
just
if this
gave
was
your age away,
people.
Katie.
I know, right? Oh, I don't care.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be stepping down. If you guys don't mind, Katie, Casey, and Shane holding the live while she's on pause, but she will be back every few minutes. Okay.
I gotcha.
Okay, I don't have any mod
Alright.
abilities to invite people up or drop them
I'll
off.
make
So
sure I'll text her to do to make you and Katie mods too. Casey's a mod, so she should be able to do it. But
Yes,
yeah,
I'm here, guys.
Are you off to bed, Mr.
I'll
Terry?
tell her to mod you and you and Katie.
Are you off to bed,
okay,
Mr. Terry?
Terry.
Yeah, I'm off to bed. I'm not feeling very well tonight,
Oh,
so.
I'm so
Oh
sorry.
no, good
Sorry.
night.
All right, good night,
Feel
ladies.
better.
Sorry to hear.
See you.
Oh, Haley, I do too. Honestly, I know I'm repeating myself. Who did this? Patrick. It was Lindsay, the police. Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, I think they thought it was a slam dunk too.
And I think
Now,
they
Nicole said this is her
underestimated the
very
media
first time.
presence too. I think they
I was just going to say,
underestimated that.
I just wanted to welcome Nicole up. This is her very first time up, so we'll let Nicole have a chat, and then Opal would love to hear from you too. So we'll all mute out. So welcome to the panel, Nicole. What did you want to add, darling?
Thank you very much. And I was invited at first, but I found I picked the wrong button. But yeah, there was a lot of inconsistencies with all of the testimony. And I was wondering, do y'all remember the first couple days in, and this, I can't remember her name, but this one lady said she heard screamings, and then she said what it sounded like as well. She said it sounded like something about kids were hanging.
I think that was one of the police women, wasn't it, or female?
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the EMS
Yes.
or firefighter. Yeah, EMS or firefighter.
And we have seen the defense often mention, he's talking about hanging the photos on the wall. And
Yeah.
he keeps talking about were they hanging on the wall and who hung them on the wall. And I feel as though that is a very deliberate, suggestive strategy.
And
But
Patrick
what's
looked
interesting
sick.
is the body language of Patrick is, and anyone who watched the Chris Watts
Is sickening.
case, he often grabbed and rubbed the back of his head when he was uncomfortable about evidence that ended up being proved to be true. And there's one scene in my mind that I keep seeing Patrick. The defense said, and who hung them on the wall? And you see Patrick reach the back of his head and he sort of rubbed it and looked down and went, I think it was Lindsay. And I felt like, oh God.
You know, he was doing that during interrogation too, whenever they were questioning him for 24 hours. Every once in a while on his questions, he would reach back to his neck there as well.
I know
Yeah,
that.
I wonder what that means.
I just want to say, I know that can be a stress response, but you would want to be as open and forthcoming on this investigation as you possibly could be if you were innocent.
Yeah. I guess so. Stress.
Yes, that's exactly
Yes.
what I called it, Hayley, Estelle.
I don't think I'd be getting an attorney, like a criminal defense attorney at that either. So that's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
wouldn't
telling.
have if you weren't worried.
So he did get an attorney, and then I also heard that he's had one on hand for 12 years.
For how long?
For a lot of years, for 12, way too long. So maybe that was just
I wonder how many other
going around.
The autopsy day. I'm reading the comments, even though I can't talk too long. I'm trying to read the comments. And ladies, I made you guys mods. I was listening.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
always
I just
listening.
did I just did a little thing. I had a look at what the body language of scratching the back of the head is, and it's stress, uncertainty, doubt, or mild stress. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, what about if you mix it with blinking eyes?
Blinking eyes, pulling the ear, and scratching the nose.
Yes.
Yeah, I
If
believe
you
that
mix
the
it,
breathing.
it's not just one thing that he's doing. He's doing a couple things at the same time.
Yeah.
Taking all about.
And
Also
can we
looking
agree
through
that
your eyebrows.
he shows more anger towards the defense attorney that's asking him questions rather than whenever he
frowns a lot.
brings
He's got
up
lots
his
of
spouse
white
that he thinks, unalive their children and everything. Like whenever he brings up his spouse, he just kind of like feels sorry for her more so than being angry. I think I would be very angry at my spouse if I thought and accused them of what, had happened.
Yeah, and I think it's a really interesting topic amongst all of this because I don't know that we can draw too much on how everyone responds to grief. And that's the hard thing. But what I do think is interesting, he often looks through his eyebrows at people and he'll close his mouth and do a deep sigh. And I don't know if that looks like shame or he wants to, shrink or he's feeling angry. It's very hard to read him.
The way he sighs for me, the way he huffs and sighs and looks like it's an inconvenience for him to be here, that's huge to me.
So I just Googled body language during interrogation that are red flags, and it comes back as like avoiding eye contact.
Oh, you've gone on teacup.
If you do head off the panel to search the internet, a lot of people who haven't joined lives before don't realize they do what's called teacupping. So it kind of mutes you by accident.
Oh, okay. So it was
we
avoiding
lost you, I
eye
think.
contact and fidgeting, and then just appearing like very restless.
Yes.
Mm.
I.e.
Yeah.
Patrick. I think
And
we
I
need to
don't know for a
start. We
fact,
need to
like-
get into the vernacular language now of courtroom slang. Doing a Patrick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if y'all have noticed too, he seems to like play with his hands too.
Yeah, wringing hands is often
He likes to
stress.
spin in the chair too, and I think when he feels like, unsure of what he's going to answer, he kind of spins in his chair.
Kept like yanking herself on the moving chair. She was kind of like putting her hands on the desk and like kept yanking herself in. It's almost like Dr. Tufts.
Oh,
She would
right.
put her both hands on the
She was a
table in
character
front of
up there.
her and kind of like yank
She made a
herself
fool
back
out of
to the
herself.
table. And to me, that means it was almost like she was subconsciously trying to run away.
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, that.
I'm not surprised, but
And we learned today that Patrick signed into her Facebook. Like,
lots of times.
I'm starting a rumor.
Yeah, it's not a rumor. It's actually it was put into evidence today
Yeah.
that it was him that signed into her Facebook and did all the searches.
Oh,
Girls,
but he
I hate
said
to
he
tell you
didn't
this.
know
I'm
who
gonna have
did
to
it
shoot.
in the beginning.
What was that, Opal?
He said that he wasn't the one that signed in the beginning when they were first questioning. Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah, he
I
did,
wouldn't
didn't
sign in
he?
to hit her Facebook. Is what
Yeah,
he
he did
said.
deny it.
He denied it.
Lindsay
Another
has two
lie.
phones.
What?
What, Bertie?
Haley's just put in the chat, I want to know why she has two phones.
I agree. I
That
want to know why
too.
she has two
I want to know.
phones.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
why?
am pretty certain, and this is another gut jump for me, so it's not gospel and it's not, but I think Patrick had a burner phone. I think that
Well, we'll find out.
I think, well, we never will if it's a burner phone.
You know
Oh, you
what?
mean
We
not in
have
evidence?
we have a lot of photos of the inside of the house, and one thing that sticks with me is Reddington said she liked to hang up photos of the family. And if you go through the evidence photos, there's really not a lot of pictures. But you know what I've seen a couple times are plastic totes. And I mean, I understand people might store that in there, but do you think she was trying to leave or something? And because I feel like it just
I don't
kind
think
of
she was strong enough
seems
to
like
leave.
things.
Not at this point.
I
No,
don't
she wasn't
know.
even driving. And I think, there's
True,
so many
true.
ideas we can throw at the
Yeah.
wall and see which ones
Yeah.
stick. And it's
Like the
good to
one
throw these
saying
ideas.
about he might have been hurting Cora in some way. I mean, she was
Yeah,
taken to the
it's hard
doctor
to.
for the doctor to look at the kidneys and for constipation, and I know she sent a text to Patrick saying it's not her kidneys, thank God.
Does
So
anybody
I think
wonder
that's the
why they brought into evidence the fact that the little girl was having trouble with her toileting? Was that
know
to
why
do
that was
with the
important.
Miralax, or was that to
So
do with concern over anything else?
I
It
Well,
was
I know
the
for a
daycare
fact.
had reported that Cora, because I guess the restroom at the daycare was out of the main room. So like if a child outside of like group, like we're all going potty, if a child had to go outside of their normal little potty breaks, then they would have to have one of the daycare people take them down out of the classroom to the restroom. And so when Lindsay had picked up the kids, they had mentioned that Cora had repeatedly needed to keep using the restroom.
Yeah.
And I believe that's why, don't mark my words, but I'm almost certain that's why the doctor's appointment was made, because
But
of
that would
the
also track with the constipation, wouldn't it? Because I know when my people were little, oh my goodness, the first thing they did when they came home from school and nursery was go and have a poop, because there was no way that they were going to do it anywhere else but the comfort of their own throne and leave it
I
for
want
their
to,
mother to clean.
and I don't know if I'm maybe recalling wrongly, but I want to say that the daycare facility mentioned to her, hey, like Cora was repeatedly needing to go pee over and over.
Yeah,
And
but
Lindsay
what I'm
Lindsay
saying
had
is
said
she might
okay
have
and
been
made an
trying to
appointment
do.
to have her checked out, and they did check her urine.
They did, and it came back clear, and that made her feel
Yes.
better, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's like,
A
thank
lot
God
of
That was in a
times
text.
too.
That was in a
too,
text she
as
sent to
well.
him too.
Yeah.
A lot of times too, I know from my own personal experience, my mom runs an in-home daycare, and there was one particular child who was not in a good home situation, and that was their escape. They had to go to the bathroom all the
Yeah.
time. It was kind of an avoidance behavior in a sense.
And
But
I mean, I
doesn't
can remember
always
things
suggest
are
that. I mean,
things are so different now with all this mandated reporting. I mean,
Yeah.
if the things that I did at school were happening now, I mean, I can remember every single day. I don't know if it's the same in Australia or the US, but we had to put our little chairs on top of the tables at the end of the day. So that the caretaker or janitor could come in and clean the floors. Every single day at school, when I got to that stage that it was time to put the chairs up on tables, time to go home, I would wet myself and start inconsolably crying because I had to go home.
oh bless. Yeah, look, the idea that Cora had but potentially a UTI, or was in distress from home life, or was there fighting, or was she reactive to mum being quite blue? And we were talking, how old was Cora? She was 5?
He was
Right.
5.
And 5 is just a magically bright, engaging, switched on age. My daughter at 5, she knew everything that was going on.
Magical. It's magical. I mean, I can
But
remember
not
my little girl at
goofy,
5.
not like goofy baby, not very bright. I mean, we're talking about a 5-year-old. I could have had some pretty hot debates with my 5-year-old about topics, and she had very strong opinions.
Yes.
So
My daughter, when she was 5, my oldest daughter, Chloe, she was described by her nursery teacher, who'd been in the business at least 30 years. Mrs. Black, lovely lady. She said, I've never known a child so quaint. And she was like she'd come out of the Victorian era. I was convinced she was either reincarnated or a fey child or something like that, because she was literally in La La Land, but she certainly had her strong opinions on stuff.
Cute.
I think that theory is just so far into a different depth that I don't want to imagine that was happening. So I don't want to think that that was an option.
No,
And it's just, I don't know. I feel like that's not our place to put those types of allegations on someone. Now we can say there's holes in a story and a timeline.
And I mean, I was the Catholic abused child, but I grew up in the 70s, and it was different then.
and I think because we don't have any
if something like that does come out, best believe we're crucifying him. I don't care.
Yeah, and I don't
be
think
right
we
there.
have anything. The children were cremated. There's no way that can be followed up. I don't even think it's a point of discussion because we also don't know if he's innocent. And already there's a lot of speculation. I think if we're really going to throw out big theories, I don't think that's one that I want to touch.
No, I don't either. I think
it's not one that I've brought up. I don't.
and also
just don't
the
think.
fact that Patrick was so disengaged, in my opinion. I think he'd be taking an unhealthy interest in Cora if that were his. And he wasn't, not by the things that I've seen.
Just all makes me feel a bit sick. Don't really.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we'll move on for that. And there's lots of things that he's being accused of.
I think something triggered things that afternoon, Hayley. I think she either had definitive proof that he was messing around or something happened.
Maybe she asked him about his trip to New York in November.
Yeah.
And we also know, based on the text, like if you watch the trial today, that her mom even texted her on Sunday saying that she's glad she's doing better. And what if she was kind of getting better and he's seen it as, the doctors are figuring out her medication, because he denied bipolar and that's what she's been diagnosed with. So I wonder if he is doing these little researches and figuring out, if I can keep her on these medications that keep her crazy and not help her.
And going back to her saying that apparently she had 2 drinks every night. What if Patrick were putting something in that? What if it was Patrick pushing the drinks?
What drives me nuts
exactly
is
what
why
I
did the
was
nurses
wondering.
never ask her if she felt safe at home? They know her husband is at work from home. She's always there. Like, that's one thing I feel like hasn't come up. Why is that not an important question? Or
Maybe
do you
she
feel
was already
safe?
being drugged before she ever went to the
I think
psychologist
so,
or
yes.
had any kind of problem. He was already
And
doing
I think that's why he had those medications in his car. Oh, I didn't have time to get around to taking it. Are you kidding me? He went to CVS that day.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, did you catch today when Reddington, gosh, I'm trying to recall really quickly here and get it out the right way. He was asking about, like the pictures sent, like I'm assuming it seemed like the ones where she took the pictures of the kids with the snowman and stuff. And Reddington specifically, I'll have to go find this later.
Oh no, Alicia, you mustn't do that.
But he said, I believe that he said something about like this picture, has been altered because this is how it's listed. And this is like where, you could like remove somebody from the photo if you wanted to.
Oh, is that what you think,
I
David?
couldn't quite figure out what he was trying to get with
I
that.
mean,
I want to go
got
back
it.
and rewatch that, but I
Let
couldn't
me ask
quite
you guys
figure it
this.
out.
I wasn't able to watch it today, but I did hear that they were kind of hinting around at Patrick in a roundabout way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely they were. Because what happened was she went to, just to catch you up, Opal, very quickly, she went to the doctors to get the baby, the little 8-month-old. What's his name? Callum?
Callan.
Callan, yeah. So she took Callan to get his ears checked because he had a bilateral ear infection. And so she was in the doctors at that time. But during that time, Patrick logged into her Facebook, and that's proven that he logged into her Facebook and he looked up how to slit your, the bit under your chin and to DIE. So that was a look. He also looked up, what were the other things, girls?
The airbag in the Kia Sorento.
Yeah, how can you disconnect the airbag
That's in a Kia
in a
Sorento.
Oh my
Kia?
god.
Something about where is the carotid artery and how to successfully cut neck
Yep.
or something like
Oh
that.
my
And
A whole
god.
bunch
Yeah,
of
those
But
are
he never finished his thought process with that. That's what got me. He switched. He was talking about that, and he was asking the guy on the stand, "Do you remember these in your search of evidence?" And he said no to every one of, or he said, "I don't recall." So
yeah,
he's
because
saying that he
Bias
doesn't recall
Cascade had them looking at other things.
He had Reddington has his own investigators. So
Well, you guys know that Reddington, I know everyone knows about him getting the drawer that had the
yeah.
Apple
Yes.
Watch, but you know that he got that second phone also.
Yeah, where did he get that from, Casey? Do you know?
Because Lindsay supposedly had two phones. The one that the state police took,
Off the
I think,
bed.
was on the bed, but there was
Yep.
another phone, and Reddington got it with that Apple Watch.
So what's very interesting here is that because we know there's a bias cascade on the DA's side, the state side, they've only really sought out confirmation bias stuff to prove their case. But I don't think they've done their due diligence, not just to ensure that they had, looked at the entire case clearly, but I think they haven't covered their own asses from what Reddington's going to bring to the stand.
they weren't
Because
expecting
he's going to go,
Reddington
you
to
pack
be
of
this on
idiots, how did
top.
you miss
So
all
now,
of
because
this?
he's the one that Googled all that, that makes him, that kind of makes
Oh, yeah,
him
it
look
does.
really suspicious. And now
Yes,
he's off
really.
dating another person who looks like her. Are we talking like some serial, you know what stuff here?
Well, no, we're just talking
Annihilator.
about a family annihilator who was premeditated, and he was setting her up to look like she was searching these things, and that to me is highly manipulative and a covert
He was framing
narcissist.
her.
Yeah, he's a
brainwash. I
psychopath.
mean, there were so many different ways of manipulation
So
going on
can
that
they not?
I don't think we even know the beginning yet. And I
Can,
don't know.
can they not
Wow,
tell
that's
in the phone
insane.
reports that it's two different iPhones? I mean, I know that Lindsay has to sign, or he, whatever, has to sign into her account, into the phone, or maybe it's an older phone and she got a newer one, or maybe
Right.
it was a broken one and she got a new one. But can
It's a
they
good
not
point
tell
because I'll tell you this,
in the
Nicole.
forensic the
Me and my
numbers?
14-year-old daughter both have our
Yeah,
own
Nicole.
independent Apple phones, but they are both on the same phone number. So any phone calls, messages, any kind of notes that are written, any thing that's sent through to Facebook or Facebook Messenger to WhatsApp goes to both of our phones. The only thing is WhatsApp, we have to swap which phone we're registered into WhatsApp from. But otherwise, one phone can share everything.
And
Two
he's in
phones can share
IT,
everything.
so I
But
mean,
there are numbers, identification numbers like EMIs or whatever, it's specific to that phone. And I wonder if forensics can see that whenever they pulled up all the information
yeah,
from text
I bet they could.
messages. But that was
We
just a
lost Opal. I
phone.
hope she
Oh
didn't
no,
feel
it's
that
in the
she wasn't
that
heard.
whole Apple ID too. I don't even know.
And he's in IT, so is he like clone her phone? Like he could be on a laptop or an iPad or anything and be in her iCloud and be able to have her whole phone on his like
Yes, exactly.
access.
He could,
Yeah.
at the very least, he could put a keylogger program on her phone.
Yeah, like he could have been watching everything. And then also I find it so strange that she always said through telehealth that she was had the ideation, and I feel like that's kind of strange. Like, do we?
That
I don't.
they
I
kept
don't.
having Zoom calls instead of personal.
Personal, yeah. And then she would like message about certain things, but never bring it up in the call, which makes me think: was she not able to say that out? Like, I don't know. I'm also a person that it's harder for me to say something out loud, but I feel more comfortable maybe sending it in a message. But if you see me in person, I'll probably deny that I had that feel. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. So, I don't
Girls,
know.
do you okay today? I'm sorry. Remind me, what was it about the medicines that he had searched also? He had searched how it made you feel, but I can't remember the name of the medicine.
There was gabapentin, or was it gabapentin or guanidine, or what is it?
No.
I'd have to
No, it
look.
was the sertraline or the
I know like
let me go look. I'll
benzoazepine's or
find it.
something.
and
Zoloft.
ketamine treatment to
Ketamine.
wean off benzos. Ketamine treatment to
Something.
wean off benzos was also searched.
And then what was that
And
other
I was
one?
trying to keep up with the dates. I need to go back there and write down the dates and then go back to when they're testifying with the doctors and see what dates the doctors are saying certain things and see if anything is lining up, like with when her doctors are telling her something and when this is being searched. Like, is she like, that's also something that I want to look into and make sure dates are lining up. Because I mean, she could just be really curious about these things and want to get
Oh
more
no, this
information
was
because her doctors are
Lamitol.
Shay. Just to
providing it
clarify, this was when
Lamitol.
it was proven that he logged into her
into
Facebook
her.
and did these searches while she was at the doctor's. So these specific searches were done by him.
And you know, one thing he said also, he didn't even just say that it was her Facebook. He also mentioned the mail, like him signing into her mail.
Her
you know?
Gmail.
Yeah.
Or was it her Google?
No, see, that's Reddington kind of has a play on words sometimes, and I think he's kind of hard to follow at times with his open-ended, but I feel like that's where he has to plant his doubt, because that's one thing he's really counting on right now is the doubt that she could have done this, because I think he wants her to be completely like exonerated. Really, I don't think he wants that the insanity plea. I feel like he really wants the truth, and if he can plant that doubt so much, then it could possibly play out that way.
Yeah. And look, I wanted to mention regarding the telehealth, I do phone support service too. And most mums, I could do in personal face to face, but most mums, it's so inconvenient to get them to get up, pack up the babies, interfere with meal times, feed times, nap times, have them have a 2-minute nap in the car on the way and then ruin their 3 hours sleep in the middle of the day. Most women prefer, when they have a bunch of babies at home, especially an 8-month-old, to do telehealth. It's far more convenient.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when they're feeling distressed, they much prefer to just sit there in their safe space, and they can be less, rather than they're already feeling like transparent, like everyone can see right through them. To have to sit in front of a care provider and actually speak your truth, I think it's very difficult. Telehealth is highly recommended for mental health crisis. Truly, it is.
I think
even though they're
it's really a
poo-pooing it.
great addition to have. I mean, it's so convenient, and then also I think that I forgot my train of thought. Go ahead.
Don't worry, we do it all the time.
We all struggle with our train of thought. We need a notepad. so we
It's
can
when you
remember our
look.
points.
It's when you look for your reading glasses and you have to go to a different room, and then you walk past a mirror and you've got your reading
Down
glasses
on
on
your
your
head.
head.
That's just that's just menopause. That's just brutal.
Yeah, I know. I'm a menopausal
Everyone spends their
person.
whole lives waiting for their menstrual cycle to end. And then when it ends,
Oh
they're
no,
like,
no,
oh,
no!
Lord, give him
When I had my
back.
son, I had emergency C-section, then an emergency hysterectomy. So that it's been wonderful. 20 odd years now. Fantastic.
And one thing that also bothers me too is the Patrick saying their relationship was great, because in her own words on her notepad in her phone, she said that she wants to do better for him, that she feels like she's letting him down or not, being the best wife, and she wants to be able to have the kids go to bed and get to have alone time with him. Like, she really wanted whatever, so then I'm thinking, like, I don't know, like, that's just where everything is just so confusing.
You
And
could tell that
that's
she was
also
like
where
worried about the relationship through her words, I
Mhm.
think. That she was worried that, talking about in regards to the birth control and, I believe them being active again, if you will, together. And it seemed like that was weighing on her.
Yeah, and the fact that she said she wanted another kid and she just
Oh,
needed
I
to get
know.
herself right. Oh my God.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. All that she's saying, in these notes, that she wants to have have lots of kids, but she needs to get well first. That is all what we would classify as like directional, purpose-filled. She's planning her life ahead of her. It doesn't make a lot of sense that she would do what she's done unless she was in a state of psychosis. So all I
Which
think
could
they've done
be,
is
I mean, that could totally be possible.
yeah, but what I'm saying is all I think that they've done by presenting this is clarify that if it was her, she must have been in psychosis, because nothing else suggests she had any plans to do this. She's just saying, this is really hard. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I'm pretty sure mums will put up their hands. Of everything you've ever done in your life, is parenting not the hardest, most scary, daunting burden of your life? And not a burden in a bad way,
Blessed
but to get it
burden.
right.
Absolutely, I think it's just so scary. And I think I also wonder with her, I feel like Lindsay had very good insight and was very writing out in a journal. I mean, these things are so healthy. And I just feel like, going back to what she was saying about the marriage and worried about birth control, and I just wonder
Very
if
self-aware.
there was very deep where she, because of her self-awareness and insight, she was very easily able to blame and I'm going to be better. I can be better. And I wonder if him straying from the relationship and her maybe not being aware of that she felt she was quick to blame herself because then she could fix it. This is like,
Yes, it's all her fault. Internalized blame, internalized shame,
yes.
and very common in mums with new babies. They're trying to get back to really focusing on the relationship. And when he's emotionally abandoned her, which it looks like he had, it's pretty clear that, she's thinking it's her fault.
He moved
rather
on
than he's having an affair.
I mean, we just look at the video we saw today.
Having an
with
affair,
her
he's not
pushing the
respecting
stroller,
her
and she's
treating
got
her
the
right at
baby
home.
on the front of her, and she's got both the kids over there, and he was just.
Yeah, he's just standing off
And
away
I
from
think
you.
even what's her name in the chat? Where is she? Well, maybe I think she was Haley. Haley had noticed something that I had picked up on, but at one point he was eyeing another woman, and it was very obvious. And I thought it was just me.
That. He totally checked that girl out that walked by. I
Yes.
seen that. I was like, what the hell?
Patrick, what?
She's seen
hell?
it too. Lindsay's seen it.
Oh
You seen it
my
on her
God.
face.
It's not all these women just seeing this. This is what is happening. And
They have had to have had
I
trouble
personally would
at
have had.
home because he was cheating and not respecting her.
And then he was putting
Leaders
his
don't
hands on his
respect.
head, almost like, okay,
Yes.
you know, and
Yeah.
then stretching. And then he was on his phone checking that. And I just
No, he's
thought,
not.
Lindsay wearing the baby on her, I personally, I was like kind of greedy about carrying Sutton on me, if I'm being honest. But pushing the stroller, yeah.
Hello.
Hello,
baby. Welcome. Chitter chatter.
You say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so
You
that's
had your
Sutton.
10 seconds. Move on, boy. I'm just kidding.
Can I just interrupt you girls just to
Yeah.
keep staying
Go ahead.
updated on a bit of gossip? Right, with regards to a certain person leaving the group,
Yes.
there is the where was it? It's not Venezuela. Where is it? Where did he go to?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Thank you. And then he's put underneath Skittle Boy. Sorry, a man can't do relaxing stuff after being traumatized.
You
And
know,
then-
I'm gonna
and then
say out
Adam
loud,
left the
I'm
group.
suspicious.
I just think, I mean, for him to be in here and listen to, I just don't think he could pretend to be reasonable anymore.
Didn't she take
I
a trip to
would
Costa
say-
Rica too?
Is anyone else
Costa
worried about
Rica?
how invested he is
Yes.
and how defensive he is?
Yes.
Is anyone else concerned about how I kept sort of dropping hints? I don't know if you noticed them, but I just call him Patrick. And there's a real possibility that there will be people out there scoping. And there was a little concern in me that, you know, in our private chat, did we need to be covering our backs and being very careful? So I obviously don't want to talk about anyone, but it did seem a little unusual that there was a lot
Didn't
of.
he claim he was in the UK?
He did claim that, but we don't know.
No, we
Yeah,
don't.
because the profile's private. He's not
And he
reposted.
was adamant that he would not come up and actually talk, which to me
Yes,
is
he kept saying he had no voice, and I started to get a bit
and he's
suspicious
busy,
that we.
and I need
Yeah.
to go to bed because I'm up early for work tomorrow. And then 20 minutes later, he was back in here.
But don't you think it's an odd thing to say? Sorry, can't a man do relaxing things?
I
Don't you
actually,
think
but you
that's-
know, he put that in the chat here because I screenshotted it because it gave me such an eerie feeling. Was that he put it in the chat here, but then he left this live and went into our chat and posted the same thing into our chat. And I
And
didn't
you know what
know.
feels uncomfortable about it, Casey? It feels defensive.
It does.
And that's where I thought, oh, wait a minute, who are we talking to?
I mean, we could be completely jumping the shark here, or it might be highlighting behaviours in himself. That he, you know, these men are so arrogant; they think we can't see it.
Well,
That's
my
a
thing is he
narcissist.
still in the chat? Is he still in the chat, girls?
No.
Did you guys see when Adam changed his profile picture to a bag of Skittles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just
I
felt
never
he was
trusted that
starting
guy.
to look
I
he was
didn't.
starting to look pretty defensive. And I know that is it Boop or Boot. She absolutely did not trust. Did not
He's been
trust.
in other lives too, because the other day I was on one and I seen Adam in a live and I said, "Hey, Adam," but he was in another live, but I didn't stay in there long. I was just kind of scrolling through, and I didn't really like they're just
Yeah, he was in
I must
I
admit,
called
my
him
heart
pro. What did I say?
sank a little
He
bit
was.
when he was put in the group.
I called him pro Patrick propaganda.
Russian bot or something.
A Russian bot. Yeah, because British bot. I said he was a British bot, but
Excuse me.
He sat. No. I don't think there are bots. I think they're all stuck in Europe or Asia somewhere. But honestly, I started to feel that his responses were very defensive, and that made it very personal, and that linked him to the party involved. And immediately, I was just calling him. And so the last lot of things I had directed at him were actually calling him out on that, and now he's cracked it and he's left the group. So I think the right thing is that he's no longer in the group.
And I didn't like also that he just kept pushing and pushing, which I mean, if he's on the other side, I don't like to be in an echo chamber. I like to have differing of opinions. I think it's good and well-rounded. But what I was concerned of was there was some defensiveness, and then it was like the questions I had asked him on things that he, said, how do you know that? Or when was that said? And I would say, well, we need to go look and don't take my word on it. Go and look and hear it yourself. But then it moved on to, he never answered that. He just then started sending screenshots of why she would have been able to talk. And I just felt like there's no one questioning the severity of her injuries. And it almost seemed like he was trying to say like
Control
she
the
really wasn't
narrative.
that she just wasn't that injured.
Yeah.
And
And
also,
I feel that was very much a DA version of controlling the narrative, the defensiveness of the DA. I just think that the defensiveness is what's made me very reticent about who this person is and where they're coming from.
2 nights running now, I've literally played, you've heard me playing them. I've played the judge's opening statements where he said we will be finding out if she's innocent or not guilty in this. Because he was adamant that wasn't what this trial was about. And then this morning, tonight, when I played Reddington's comments saying that the prosecution are going to try and prove that she did this, right? And each time it's like he doesn't even listen to it. He's still got this, he's like a little wind up doll.
Yeah, he's a bit frustrated that he can't control the narrative in
And
a
I mean,
defensive
I
way.
want to know what happened to Jockey because Jockey disappeared as well.
Yeah. That was a sidekick, right? That was his sidekick?
I think so.
And
Probably
was
the
it a
same
man or
person.
was it a woman?
Don't know. It's a pretty ambiguous name, isn't it?
Well, would it
Well,
shock
actually,
me that
even we don't even know if Adam was a man or a woman.
hang
Quite
on, it
frankly,
wasn't
we don't
Jockey,
know
was
who
it?
Adam
It was
was.
Yeah, we
Jockey.
don't know that. And the other thing is that good to keep an eye out if you see a new profile that pops up consistently that comes in that is reminding you of him or her. But today I felt like this is getting a little bit weird. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. And I was kind of leaving it at that and thinking, I just felt like I found myself not sending stuff to our group because I was like, oh, this will just get Adam going and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very odd. It was just it was not in a way that I felt his approach, because I guess the thing that I found most odd about it was that he was never sending us like authentic stuff. That it was always when he was pushed almost like, well, show us or we're asking, then he would send a random TikTok, but like he was never having like good back and forth conversation of figuring something out. It was
No, he was just pushing a narrative.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just think he was done with trying to pretend to be affable.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that
think that's
comment
fair to
is
say.
so snarky.
Yeah.
Oh, is he not allowed, a man after trauma, is he not allowed to relax or whatever he put, but it was in that vein. Well,
not
no, not when
with
it's
his new
20
girlfriend.
days. Not 20 days after losing his 3 kids and going away with his girlfriend. I mean, are you for fucking real?
Yeah, I just don't even want to be associated with someone that thinks going to Costa Rica 20 days after you lose 3 children and your wife.
I think it was only like 17 days after they were buried.
My gosh.
No, but
Maybe less.
he lives in New
They
York.
had a funeral
and
and
he
he
went to New York
cremated
in
them.
November before she got put on Seroquel at the end of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Look, there's
Alicia,
so
he
much
was.
suspicious
Just
stuff.
kept
It's also
repeating.
why I hammered on about, even in the chat, why I brought up that we had to not take any responsibility and all we were doing was chatting and it was not a professional opinion.
Well, did you see
And I
that
suddenly
girl?
felt we needed to protect ourselves. So I was feeling quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, that
You were
girl-
not alone in that. I was actually feeling the exact same way, and I had just really come out to say it because I didn't want to jump the gun. I never want to be doing where I'm jumping the gun on something like that.
There's a girl beginning with K.
Me and Adam had a lot of back and
Harry.
forth in the chat too, and I feel like the same way, like just weird vibes.
What was her name? Was it Kiri?
who'd been accused
Yeah,
of
when
like,
Carrie, when
come in
she had
tonight
said
when
something
we
about the
film.
running thing with Lindsay and said she was manic, and I'm thinking that's why I said, well, I'm going to put on my manic running shoes, I guess, because
That's
if you
who's
think
running in the
she's
first
manic,
place.
you don't want to see me.
She came in tonight and thankfully
But
was
wouldn't
only
she
in
be a
here for a
runner in
very
the first
short
place? Her
time.
husband was. Marathons, this and that. It's normal for her. And plus,
I mean,
it's
I
healthy
just
for the
think, I
brain.
look at Patrick and do you know what I see? I see this wishy-washy, woke, flipping millennial grooming, grooming as in personal care, vain. Blech.
You know what he was? He was a Karen because I looked at his Yelp account. Has anyone else
Yes,
seen his Yelp account?
he was an
No, I
aged,
hadn't.
he was an
Yeah, he's a real
aged hipster Karen.
he
Do
was
you
a real
think
bitch.
do you think her idea of the
Everything
running, like she's seen him pick up the hobby of running and maybe thought that was something they could like, because I mean, what do
Together, but he already
you
had
think?
a
How long
running
do you think they
partner,
were having
didn't he?
problems for? Like we don't know that. Were they
Oh no,
having
she'd
problems and how
always been a
long?
runner, and for mental
Okay,
health,
I
running's really
didn't really know
important.
that.
Wonder if
And
the
also, if
fertility
it's your
doctor has a Yelp
partner's,
account.
if it's your
I had questioned that Patrick hadn't picked up becoming more of an avid runner per the new little wifey.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the wife, or it's the other way around, but it's either that he picked up running more frequently because of the girlfriend or the girlfriend may have picked it up because Patrick and Lindsay ran, which I would say it's more like that. But I would say by looking at her running, personally looking at her paces and distances, she was not someone who just started running in 2000.
New York running is a big thing there. There's a lot of running groups in
Yeah,
New York.
she
So I bet
definitely
she was
a very
involved.
avid runner.
I've
Very.
seen Sex in the City.
Maybe, I mean, that could be where they met though. But I did see on TikTok a picture of like 2012 of them circulating. And I don't know.
Yeah, I have seen that also.
He used to go out with her before he was married.
And what if she found someone better so he had
Bye, Twigs.
and then she
Thanks for
became
coming up.
available again?
Thanks for coming up, Twigs. We appreciate your input.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Twig.
Thank you,
take care.
Twigs.
And Nicole, feel free to just speak loud because we all get very excited and passionate. So if we're all interrupting, just go, guys, can I just finish a sentence, please? Just say it.
Oh, hey, guys.
No problem. I try to, I think I try to talk a little loud sometimes, especially whenever so I don't know if I'm heard, but I do get response back. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we're hearing you, but if you have things that you want to say, please just stop us from yabbering and say what you need to say.
Listen, girls,
You gotta
I
be-
was so frustrated about the group chat today and what was going on in there that I ran a 5K. Literally.
What happened?
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, I was worried about it too, but I'd already started to call him out a bit or them out. I
And
was like,
Boots, she gave it to him. She stomped
Yeah.
all over
I'm
him.
going to have to go and look at this on my iPad.
Boots never wanted him in there. She was horrified
No.
when she saw him. It was like a safe space had been invaded, and I have to say, even I started to go, I can't actually.
That's how I
can-
was feeling
I
also.
Tell
Yeah.
that he put it off. Yes, a person can often still speak after a crushed thyroid. Shut up. Just shut up.
But why was he so defensive? It irked me. It gave me the icks. I was like, why are you being defensive? We're not talking about you, or are we? Like, who are you? What are you doing? So yeah, I immediately was like, oh, we're gonna have to start covering ourselves. And the other thing is in big lives.
Yeah.
So in
what Boot was
yeah,
saying.
you're following on now, Katie. Welcome to the club. We're all a bit.
Holy moly. Oh my
Um,
God.
So I think we are going to have to, in the big lives, the ones where we get a big traction and there's like 300 or 400 people in, we can assume that there's people watching. We have to understand that we know that the DA and the prosecution also have teams out there watching popular social media lives that are discussing the case. And so, we do all have to be fairly careful about, it's mentioned many times that we're that we're all somewhere in the medical field or in the psychology field. We just have to be fairly careful to make sure that we are covering our butts because we don't know who's in the room at any point.
I
We
agree.
speak out. We're just allegedly, and we're only speaking the facts that the prosecution has given us. So
That's why we have to be careful with throwing out random ideas of like, what about? If we do, we have to say, here's a theory. What about if this happened? We do have to
When
be pretty
it's
smart.
moaning and making groaning sounds, loud noises. Is he for flipping real?
What? Who? What?
Oh,
Oh,
Adam's
you reading the? Are
Kate
you
is
reading
reading
the?
through all that.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
good God. Yeah, go for him, Boots. Tearing a new one.
Yeah, no, Boots didn't hold back. She was like, who are you? And I don't like you.
Yeah.
But even when we had brought points, it reminded me of trying to speak to a narcissist. You know how you can never win a fight with a narcissist?
Yeah.
And I was like,
They'll
I mean, not
literally
only that,
change their point halfway through as well.
No, they
yeah.
redirect or they
Yeah.
insult you or they get you mad about something else. So that way your brain can go, and then you
Yeah.
forget everything.
Yeah, and then
And
they're
even
the
if
ones
you
they try and make
prove
you
it,
look like you're the insane one. Yeah.
and even if you prove it with facts, they'll dismiss the facts as rubbish.
Absolutely.
So, which will leave you cranky.
Well,
So there
that's
was a lot of
because you got me
toxic.
upset.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
I just yeah, I wish I'd seen that earlier because I would have not been so nice to him tonight if I'd seen all that.
Yeah, no, I think we'd all become very suspicious. And there was nothing that I was saying to him that was not suggesting I knew or I felt he was some way involved. And he said, actually, it's not been proven or not whether I am or aren't Patrick. And so I was like, well, there's usually a little bit of truth in everything. He could be his best friend. He could be his, who knows who he could be.
Could be just somebody who works for the DA's office. We don't know.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. So,
And it's not beyond the realms of possibility because they've already brought in the possibility of having one TikToker actually testify. So, yeah, why wouldn't there be people?
1000%.
And I've noticed as well that an awful lot of people who are calling me insane and calling me a moron and saying all those sort of nasty words to me in comments today, well, over this past week actually, they seem to have very recently opened TikTok accounts.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that I would classify as bot farm, pro propaganda, trying to push a narrative in social media. And I can guarantee you, if you look at the social media campaign and the narrative holding campaign that's being run by the DA, including the stories on Patrick in his bachelor pad, which he was sharing with his wife.
I mean,
So sorry,
honestly,
bachelor
it
pad.
reminds me of Meghan Markle's Sugars. I don't know if you've done a deep dive on that, but if you so much as say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't really like her very much. I don't find her very likable," you will get called all the names under the sun. You will get called a racist. You will get called jealous. You will get called ugly. You will get called you want Prince Harry for yourself. So I can't even say that with a straight face.
There's been such a vicious campaign against that woman. Again, we're talking about a woman here. I watched on where the whole world was like, yay, they're getting married. It's so cute. And then the campaign to absolutely destroy her, much the same way that happened to Diana, started. And the narrative that was spread,
It happens to all the women.
horrifying.
But the social media makes it so much worse.
We can't have a woman who's too high. I mean, Taylor Swift, who's the most sort of moral compass, straight point, donating, giving her time, talking women's truths. She just gets absolutely hammered. But now they've realised.
They always seem to be setting women up as rivals. To me, Catherine and Meghan are two completely different women. They've got two completely different roles. And there is no competition, But
It's just it is the it's a patriarchy.
Women against women.
It's the patriarchy, and I hate the patriarchy. I loathe it. Oh yeah,
Mm. Woe betide any woman that dares step out of a box that other people have put us into.
I've got to say that the generations, the boomers and the Gen X a little bit, but boomers particularly had all the women with internalized misogyny, totally groomed, completely bought the narrative, very competitive, not supportive of each other, saying you're not as good as me, putting undue pressure on other mothers. And then no one could speak about it other than they were the perfect housewife, always smiling.
Of course.
First impressions are always good.
You know who in my life was the biggest person for doing this, putting us in boxes? Was my mother. I was the clever, quick-witted one. My sister was the
Mom,
blonde.
tuck in your tummy.